Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian Espinal, and joining me through Discord, it is my partner in crime. It is Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Good evening, Chris. What's good?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
My.
Yeah, let's get it. Also joining us through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend, back from his hiatus and saving our dog. It is Edgelord. Big news, 64 ounces, Brian.
What's up, nerds?
Hello. Oh man, it is good to have this show today. I'm very excited to get into it. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. We have our month leads this week. It didn't feel right to do it without the man himself, the Edgelord. So we waited for him to make his triumphant return. But until then, let's get into plugs so we can get this show started. You can find me at the Chris Aspinall on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37 on Instagram as well.
Oh yeah, Brian.
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And I've actually been streaming consistently recently. So if you want to catch one of my streams, I'm usually live at around like 1 p.m. EST, you know? So you could catch me at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Swing by if you ever want to hear me talking about extra arms or some shit.
Yeah. Awesome. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, especially since we do a weekly really good chapter of the week audience poll. We do it every week. It comes on every Sunday, usually when the chapters first come out. So, you know, hit on that and we can get some more votes in. I don't have the official winner right here in my hands, but if you listen to this podcast before the poll ends, which is Thursday, hopefully you hear this and you go to our Twitter and vote for your favorite. It's still there. So
guys, we really need you guys to vote for Black Clover this week. You know, we really need to show it some love. It's been really neglected the past couple of days that we haven't done the show, you know. So we just really need to make sure that it wins the RGC this week.
Yeah. You can follow our theme song guy at drum_foo on Twitter and Instagram. Very talented individual, as you can hear from our theme song. So go on and support him. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about. Comment below if you want to give your thoughts on this week's comics or manga. We usually respond. Keep the community flowing, the conversations going. Bars. And
Ooh.
I guess without further ado, let's get into it. Spoiler alerts ahead. We are going to start with a little bit of a new segment we're trying out. We're over the last couple weeks. Welcome to One Shots.
Oh!
This week, Brian has a little one shot for us. Some thoughts about stuff that we don't usually cover. And Brian, take it away.
All right, boys. Today, I'm going to talk about the one, the only, Solo Leveling. Yeah, that's right. Korean manhwa time, boys. We don't cover this shit. We don't cover this shit. We're in Japan, we're in America, but this fucking manhwa has been popping off. I honestly, I've heard about it here and there, but it's been gaining so much popularity, and I read it, and I just couldn't fucking stop once I actually started reading it. It's such a fun series, and like I was thinking to myself the other week, like, why do I enjoy this fucking manhwa so much? Like, what is it? Like, I know the art is fucking amazing, like the fight scenes are fucking amazing, the powers are interesting, but what is it about this shit that's so fucking cool? And I came upon the revelation that this series is literally just power porn. It's just superpower fucking porn. You know, like, you want a main character who's literally so fucking strong that he's literally like, this dude, I swear to God, it has been like 50 chapters since this guy has legitimately gotten challenged. This guy is fucking pure unadulterated muscle. Like I
That's
swear,
awesome.
there's
Actually,
never been there. I've never seen a fucking main character that is just this overwhelmingly powerful in their own series. Even One Punch Man, it doesn't like light a candle, light a candle next to this guy.
That is one hell of a.
I'm just
Statement.
I'm not saying that he's
Statement,
stronger
yeah.
than One Punch Man, but I'm just
No, I
saying in
know, I'm
terms
just
of
saying,
like
like,
his
just the
impact
way-
in the world,
Yeah.
this dude takes the fucking cake. Like, he's a character like, well, to be fair, his whole thing is supposed to be that he is like a bottomless pit of improvement. You know, he's somebody who could always keep getting better and better and better and better, and there's literally no limit to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, and solo leveling is like. If you read the series, you'll understand
What's the series about? It sounds cool.
what it's about.
I have no idea. I haven't read it yet.
So essentially,
It's about getting stronger and
Solo-
breaking the mold.
Solo leveling is essentially a series about essentially society in solo leveling is based around these kind of cracks or portals that open inside of society. And when these cracks or portals open, monsters are likely to come through and fucking start wreaking havoc on society, right? So, once these portals start opening, there are people who called hunters who are capable of going into these portals and dealing with the monsters before they come through and hurt people, right?
Mhm.
So every hunter is ranked like E rank, D rank, C rank, B rank, A rank, and S rank, and so on.
Is this World
So-
Trigger?
No,
It sounds exactly like it.
it's not nearly as
Sounds like World Trigger, yeah.
no, it's not nearly as
Yeah,
like,
think about
you know, strategic or like very in depth in its system. But
It seems
essentially-
organized, though, at least.
yeah, the higher it's not
I like
like the higher rank you are, the like, you know, you kind of move through the ranks because of skill or whatever. It's basically like if you're an S rank compared to an E rank, an S rank is basically just really, really fucking strong people. Like these are dudes that can go into a portal and carry his own squad himself.
Mhm.
So that's another thing. Portals are kind of ranked themselves. So there are portals that have like, you could be like, oh, that's an E rank portal. So of course a fucking S rank guy is not going to come into an E rank portal and fucking tear shit up, right? So essentially what happened was S rankers, hunters became kind of a profession. So there are guilds that are mainly owned by S rank people in different countries, and they're all overseen by the government itself. So they started making rules about, since it became a profession, they started making rules. People who are E rank and above, those guys can join fucking guilds, or they can go into fucking portals, but they can't do that shit by themselves. They have to go into ranks or into guilds in order to do so. Even E rankers are well above and more powerful than regular people in of itself.
Mhm.
So, but E rankers are still pretty fucking weak in comparison to people above them.
So what about the main character?
So the main character started off, his name is Sung Jinwoo. He started off as an E ranker, right? And he was actually so fucking weak compared to everybody else in the fucking series that he was seen as the weakest fucking hunter in all of mankind. Because every single time he would go into a dungeon, an E rank, even if it was an E rank dungeon, he would come out with severe injuries. So his thing was that since he was an E rank hunter, he still had to go into these guilds, into these portals, so that he can scrape by and make money to pay for his mother's bills because she's hospitalized, right? So one day, when they were going into an E rank dungeon or like a D rank dungeon, I'm not sure, it's been a while. They go in there, and people are like, "Oh, if Sung Jin Woo's going on this shit, then it's gonna be fucking light work, right?" because if this dude's here, then we're not going to be running into anything too crazy, because he's literally the weakest dude everybody knows. So they go in there and they're cleaning up house, they're fucking shit up, and they come across a very, very rare double dungeon. So essentially, it's so rare that a portal will kind of carry two different sections of a thing. So essentially, what happens with portals is when you go into one, you have to find the dungeon boss, and once you take care of that dungeon boss, the portal will kind of collapse on itself, and it will then be erased. But this time they took down the dungeon boss, but it turns out there was more. So when they went into it, this double dungeon ended up being well above anything they've ever had to deal with before. Like, this was probably even above an S rank dungeon, possibly.
Whoa.
So when they went in there, they kind of got fucking slaughtered. Like, a lot of people died, and if it wasn't for
died, not like
people actually die. People actually die in this series. Like, people who, if you're not careful, it's very dangerous. There's no like Tryon bodies. There's no fucking second lives, except for this one condition where the main character, he kind of, since he was somebody who always took risks and always like tried to, find value in himself in the field, he managed to save at least 3 people from this incident, even though there were so many more people who went in there. Like, there was like 20 people plus, only 5 people made it out alive because of some.
So he didn't fight or nothing. He just was able to save 3 of his friends.
No, and he ended up sacrificing himself so that people could escape, but he was supposed. My mic just cut out
for a second. You're good.
Yeah,
okay,
you're good.
my bad. So he was supposedly killed inside of this double dungeon, right? But somehow he survived. Like, when I'm trying to remember how exactly it happened, but
I mean, it doesn't have to be all that
you
specific.
can leave that.
Yeah.
You can leave.
I mean,
he died, but then he was awakened by a system. This is what it's called. This is like essentially what the power is at the start. So essentially it's kind of similar to how it would be in a video game, right? So he has like a menu, he has like a system that tells him like, oh, you achieved this, or oh, you got this item. And essentially the system is kind of like he sees more than what regular people are gained access to. Like, he has his own system of improvement. He can get XP to gain levels. The more he trains, the more XP he gets, and whenever he gains a level, he can change attributes to allocate attributes to add to his own skills, like mana, HP, strength, speed, whatever, right? Or intelligence.
Yeah.
So essentially, he just started grinding that shit out, and the more he kind of challenged himself, the more he grew and more he got to do more shit. So essentially, the series is about him continuously improving at an extremely rapid rate.
Yeah. Just to close these dungeons and collapse them into themselves and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you say he can? Oh, my bad. What were you
saying? Go ahead.
Did you say he continued to go to S rank dungeons, or just after that situation where he died, you said that system activated, it saved his life, etc., and he went back home?
Yeah. So essentially, certain hunters get what's called an awakening, right? Most manga and have shit like that, right? Where people can get a second wind, essentially, in their power. So
sure.
This is somewhat of Sung Jin-woo's fucking awakening as a hunter, but nobody has ever seen it quite like this before, Like, people have had awakenings, but nobody has ever like been so fucking weak and then awakened to become this fucking powerful, Like, so essentially, what's really fun about the series though isn't just like his development as like somebody being this powerful. It's just the way that the series is structured makes his like extremely powerful presence or his climb to being powerful so unique, you know? Like even though he's not getting challenged all that much or he's not being like pushed against the wall at some points in the series, it's just the way that the world reacts to his improvements and how his actions influence the world is really interesting. Like it's the social parts of the series and the way that the series is structured. That's the fun part of it to me.
Yeah,
because there is a lot of politics involved with this series, and it's done in a really unique way. I think.
My friend from work is a really big well, you know, one of the people from work that I talked to, he's in, like, you know, he reads manga and stuff, and he brought up Solo Leveling as well, and he was like, yeah, that's my favorite, like, you know, series right now. So he made a point about how, like, in the series nobody else really kind of raises out of their ranks, or like if it happens it's super special, like it's something that's really, really rare. And like, I guess that's kind of the mindset, right? Like everyone feels like they're looking at him improving, and it's not even so much a how fast; it's the fact that he is. Period. And it's perceived that it's so unbelievable because everyone else is stuck in that mindset of just stagnating or not accepting their fate. You know what I'm saying? So I do get that, and I you know, that's some. It's not Japanese, but it's definitely shonen, and I fucks with it.
Yeah, I mean, manhwa doesn't get enough
sounds
credit
cool
these days. You know?
And he's just busting through all these apps, right? So why not?
Yeah.
The guild system is the most interesting part to me because, like
the guild system.
Yeah, the guild system because it's like
guild.
Not guild. So
guild.
No.
But it's
so
whoa.
Like the main thing about this series that's like kind of a thing, it's like because it's kind of like a profession managed by the government, right? These are people who are extremely powerful even outside of these like barriers, right? So there's laws in place, there's all this shit, it's a business, and the stronger you are, the more notoriety you get, which means you can literally own million dollar fucking organizations and shit, right? So it's just cool. It's just fucking cool shit. And all the different characters in this, like, it's very manga-esque, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely very interesting. But I guess
and the art is fucking bonkers.
That I saw.
That's just... The art is just so fucking good. It's actually insane.
Yeah, I took a little peek at some stuff. Brian has been trying to get me to read this for a while, so I skimmed through it a little bit.
I have the entire series.
I know.
Just saying.
Is it over now?
No.
Okay.
So the thing about Korean manga, Korean manhwa, is that they're kind of episodic and seasonal. So right now, Solo Leveling is in its second season, and once the season is over, the artist would typically take a break for a while until the next season is released.
I see.
And every chapter is considered an episode.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, and honestly, they're not wrong because that shit. Honestly, every chapter looks like a fucking anime. I'm not kidding. It's literally like reading an anime.
Yeah. Wow. Super interesting. I mean, we don't cover manhwa at all on this show, so maybe one day.
Shout out to Tower of God.
Yeah. Tower of God is also on HBO Max. I might give that a little look. But, yeah, that was One Shots, everybody. And without further ado,
read it.
I suppose we should move onward to the show proper. It is time to randomize.
Bloody Cross.
Boruto.
Oh, damn, you were close, Josh.
Yeah, close. I was.
You're actually close.
Josh tried to guess what came first on the randomizer, and he guessed Dragon Ball Super. Incorrect. But now we start with Boruto, chapter 56, Code. Lots of dialogue in this chapter.
Boruto. You said You said there's a lot of things you what?
No, I said there's a lot of dialogue in this chapter. It's a lot.
Oh.
It's a lot of kind of decompressing, moving things along for the story. We start off with Boruto basically just doing a TV interview because everybody heard that, it was because of him that the seventh.
Oh,
Hokage,
shucks.
Yeah, he's like, oh shucks, it wasn't just me. But Boruto did a lot, He's not very comfortable there, obviously. We then cut into the science labs, the Ninja Tool science development office thing, where Amato is taking a look at Kawaki. They gave him a fresh new arm because Amato is able to graft one out of Kawaki's old cells because these guys are essentially ninja tools that are alive and have sentience, so he can kind of just rebuild them. Also, it's revealed that one of the scientist girl likes Boruto. So,
wow,
massive twist.
What a twist!
What a twist. So yeah, Kawaki's just like stoic, like whatever. Thanks for my new arm. I'm leaving now. And Amato almost like pulls him back to talk to him about something, but I guess changes his mind. So, he pulls him back. He allows him to leave. And Boruto, I guess, is still on his like talk show. The other kids in the village are watching him just being like on TV. Sarada is salty about it. She's just like, all right, Boruto, acting all embarrassed and stuff, being on TV. But yeah, everybody's just like, I guess like it's revealed here that like without Boruto, there's a no mission rule now ever since all this stuff happened. So they think that I guess like this whole TV operation thing is a way of making up to Boruto that he can't go on missions because I guess it's too dangerous out there, seeing as what just happened with everything. We cut to Boruto after the interview. He's chilling, and that's when Kawaki shows up. And after talking a while, Kawaki basically brings up this theory is like, why don't you use karma to prepare a vessel for yourself? In the event that you die, you can be resurrected through somebody else. And Boruto's like, I can do that?
Whoa.
And Kawaki's not sure, to be fair. He's like, I don't know. This is just kind of a theory. But if Momoshiki ends up resurrecting within you, then you could basically have a second life in whoever you choose to implant your karma with. But Boruto,
isn't that kind of fucked up though?
I mean, Boruto literally brings up that exact point. Is like, we can't just do that. We can't just sacrifice somebody. And Kawaki's like, hey, bro, say no more. I already got somebody in mind. We could use Code. And Code, as we know, is the villain, the remaining Kara member that is still around and Jigen's most loyal servant, who's in the Arctic now, as we see. He's just, I guess, approaching this secret hideout place.
Has snowy areas ever been like a thing in like Naruto's manga in of itself?
Is there a
happened
village
before.
in the snow? Or in the ice?
Have they ever been there? I can't remember a time that they've actually visited it though, like in a manga.
It snowed in Konoha. I know there have been snow scenes. Like there's been a scene in the snow. I remember the one time where Naruto was hyperventilating. That one time, it was during a snowy time. It was like, I guess, winter in Konoha. Mm-hmm. So there has been snow in Naruto. But
it does exist in this universe.
Yes, snow is canonical in Boruto. But yeah, we cut back over to Amato, kind of explaining who Code is, because thankfully he's smart enough to be like, hey, there's no time really for celebration because there's one more guy out there. One more huge problem. And I'm starting to
he gets to the point.
I'll tell you what, I'm starting to like Amato more and more by the chapter because, like, as he's like kind of explains, like, yo, Code is no joke. He wasn't like compatible with Jigen, but the fact that he survived it, despite the fact he wasn't compatible means something. Like he's fucking strong as shit.
Yeah.
Kawaki explains that like they do this test where they implant a ton of kids with karma, and the people who are not compatible usually die. Kawaki was of course compatible, but Code was not. But he still somehow survived with karma intact, and particularly the part of karma that makes him into a living weapon. So it all worked out, as he demonstrates by killing guards that I guess are supposed to be actually on his side, but he kills anyway.
Kinda, yeah.
I guess
he doesn't really need them.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need
He uses
them.
his wicked belt powers, his S&M.
His belt head powers.
Teleport.
I just noticed he uses
I
belts.
do not understand this ability at all.
Belt
Where
no
are
jutsu.
they coming from?
Yeah, I guess like he's Spider-Man, but with a belt. They just come out of him.
But where'd it come from?
Where'd you go? Where'd
Yeah,
come
you know
from?
what?
No,
They
I'm
come
saying,
out from
where are those
underground.
things coming from?
Yeah, no, they come
Is
from
he sending
underground.
shockwaves?
I don't
and
know.
The shockwaves turn into.
It looks like it's his collar, like the ones
That's
around
on his
like
head.
no on his wrist. Like yeah, it looks like the same thing on his head and on his wrist.
It is the thing on
kind
his
of.
head. What? You're right, Josh. I didn't even really question this when I first saw it. Where did these things come from?
It's really weird. I'm sorry, guys, but it bothered me.
Yeah, I didn't notice it actually. I thought like he was just like it was his scratches from his claws that like caused it. I didn't look closer to see like the little circles in it.
I'm sure they'll explain it eventually.
And then they do other weird shit, like he can teleport through them and pop out. It's just kind of wonky. I don't know.
I guess
man.
they'll explain it
I
later.
had to shoot that. I had to put that out there.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, I can't believe I didn't see it before. You're
I
absolutely
mean, he turned
right.
up. What can I say?
I mean, I'm sure
He
that
said
this will.
easy mode. He just wanted to stunt.
If we're
Oh, you can
crazy,
stab people through it too. What the fuck?
if we're crazy, please comment and tell us if this is a thing that we know about. Because I
Yo,
don't-
he gestures his hand and makes a belt, a S&M belt strap around this man's body. And then he puts his claws through it.
yeah, no, he definitely he kills
First
these
of all,
guys.
where did it teleport from the bottom and came up?
Yeah, he teleports through these things. That's so weird. Yeah, he
should've went
teleports his
inwards
hand
then,
through.
right?
it.
Oh, whatever, man. I don't know.
Wow, you know what? I
I
thought
don't know.
this.
I just don't know what the fuck is going on. I know he's winning.
You're
Another
I'm sure
absolutely
guy
right.
they'll explain it eventually, but
Yeah, he
you know, they
teleports-
just wanted to show what he could do.
For sure.
Brian, here's the problem where I'm having with you right now. This is a personal thing with you right now.
What?
You don't? Do you not understand why me and your brother are like having our way right now with with this? Shit
Yeah,
and,
Brian, you
and
can't just
making it the butt of a joke and
nonchalantly.
shit?
You can't just
Dog.
nonchalantly be like, "Oh yeah, he uses belts." They'll explain it later.
It's not that fire. It's not Jujutsu Kaisen where you're just like, bro, who cares? You know what I'm saying? This is a wicked fight, bro. This shit is whack. I don't know what's going on. Just like,
I'm sure they'll explain it
when-
eventually.
When
you
they
know,
explain his power, it's gonna be mad dumb. That's my issue. I'm gonna foresee this and predict that right now. That will
Nah.
that even you, Brian, that even you wanted to make a point, you're gonna be like, yeah, you know what? There's nothing I can say, yo. This is so stupid.
Listen, dude. I mean, if you could manipulate shadows, then you can manipulate Gucci belts. All right, that's what I'll say.
The Gucci
Hey, I
belt
heard it
manipulation
here
jutsu.
Brian with the strongest counterpoint to date. You got it, broski. You can say, "Holy God, this is designer." What you fucking talking about? You see, you smacking him with the Ferragamo. All right,
All right, dude.
I could dig it. I ain't know he was on it like that. Like
You're
that.
right.
My bad. Nigga, Brian put us on the game.
Only for the best. Only the best for Code. He doesn't rock no.
Anyway.
Yeah, so I guess Code just like slaughters his own, I guess, teammates and then enters the building to show how heartless and cruel he is.
I can't help myself.
Okay, so apparently
man. All
this,
right.
this isn't even his final form because he has limiters within himself to limit his power.
I gotta beat myself.
You can laugh on the mic. No, yeah, you could have. He has limiters on himself to really that stop him from using his full Gucci power, and it's
Can we call him Drip King from now on?
Yeah, the Drip King code.
Drip King. That's right. I kill people with my drip.
Yeah.
That's a bold claim. Remember the dude from Batman?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh no.
You're
Wait,
right.
what was his name? The fucking outfit
designer?
weaver or something?
Designer.
Fuck, what was his name? The designer?
Yeah,
His name was Designer.
Designer.
Yeah, his name is Designer.
This kid is up there. At
Okay,
least
alright.
we know he has a knife for, you know.
Yeah, we gotta
For the
stop
final thing.
simping for his drip. We gotta keep it going. Okay, so he has limiters on him that prevent him from using his powers, and Amato can actually control the limiters, which is pretty cool because he basically, I guess, designed all these kids. So
Nice.
yeah, he's like, hey, don't worry about it. I got it. But you know what? He basically was submissive to Jigen like a god. So you know, like he's essentially a religious fanatic.
S&M, I'm telling you.
You think he was also like the stylist for all the Otsutsuki? He's like, yo, I don't think that color looks good on you, brother.
No,
I'm
dude.
just saying.
I'll tell you what.
I think that he
No,
begged all of them to spank him with that belt. That's why he keeps it on him at all times.
Man, that's why it stuck through his fucking hair because they smacked him one time too hard and it got
Master, please.
to answer your question, Brian, I don't think he shared any of his secrets with the rest of the Kara members. There's no way.
No, not the Kara, the fucking Otsutsuki. He's like, yo, please,
He's
bro,
the one
I
with
got
the
you.
studs. They hurt so good.
That's why the Otsutsuki didn't take over his body. It's just like his drip was too magnificent.
Oh yeah, this one is precious.
No, we're too partial to our white robes and nothing else. But essentially, yeah, he created these cyborg kids, and this is my favorite part: is that like, look, we need to make sure that I don't get captured because, you know, I'm not like you guys. If he captures me and tortures me even a little bit, I'm singing.
Yeah, he keeps it a buck. He's like, y'all better protect me because
I'll go full alto
I'm not
soprano
letting him
on
torture
you.
me. I will let him know everything he needs to know if it means me getting away safe.
I'm glad that there is a character that's extremely weak-willed in this series, though. Out of everybody who could have possibly gotten Talk no Jutsu,
And honest
this guy,
about it.
this guy would have lost in like the first second of talking to Naruto.
That's why I like Amato so much. He's basically just all of us, really, in this scenario. It's like if he's a regular guy, he has no jutsu, he has probably no fighting experience. So he's like, yo, if he captures me, I'm breaking glass with my voice. That's how high of a note I'm singing in.
He's like, you know how snitches get stitches? Well, in this world, snitches get studded belts across the
You said that's words of mother.
Yeah,
That's not happening.
respect for Amato, honestly. Very much.
That's a studded Gucci. Oh man.
Okay, so we cut back to Boruto and Kawaki talking, and Boruto's
Wait,
like,
the Hokage Summit is happening.
oh, right, you're right. I almost ran over that. We were too focused on this Gucci. We were too distracted by his fucking drip.
Dude, we get to see fucking Gaara again. Let's go.
Do
All
we?
right.
Where is he?
We
Did I
will.
miss that part?
No, we will see him because the Gokage Summit is coming.
Oh,
After
yeah.
they get things squared away with Amato, and Shikamaru's like, "All right,
And
we'll
Darius.
protect you."
We get to see Darius too. That's his name, right? Darius.
Yeah.
Big
Is that his name?
Glasses.
No, Darius.
Yeah.
Darius
He's the fifth Raikage.
Yeah, he's
Oh, the lightning dude. Are you talking about the black dude?
yeah, the one black dude in Naruto's named Darius.
Yeah. Listen,
I
that's
love
not
it.
my fault.
Yeah, so basically, I love how Naruto's even a little bit self-aware. He's just like, Code's gonna be a problem. I don't have Kurama anymore, so let's go talk to the other Hokage, the other Kages, and see if we get some help on that.
Smart. Naruto knows better. He said, "Listen,
Yeah,
I ain't
it's
got
What
no
can
more."
Naruto really do without Kurama?
Sage
though?
mode.
Nothing.
Shadow clone?
He has
No,
Sage
No,
mode.
he can't even do that.
He can't
He
do
can only
Sage
make
mode.
a couple because he doesn't have the.
Yeah, I don't think he
massive
can
amount
even
of
do that.
chakra.
No, I'm
I
saying Sage mode. He can't do Sage mode anymore.
I don't think so.
I mean, I just think it's
Yes, it
not
can.
enough.
Kurama
At this
had nothing
point.
to do with Sage Mode. He just can't.
Sage mode
No,
is
you're
all
right.
natural, right? Natural shit.
Yeah, it's the
Which is
natural
super
chakra.
duper strong. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it matters against. Oh, Suzuki.
It's so Suzuki.
Well, at least
or the
Naruto.
Zero guy or whatever.
At least
fuck his name
Sasuke can
is.
put in work.
Yeah. I mean,
Sasuke is
With what?
officially the strongest ninja in
He doesn't have his
Konoha.
Rinnegan
Is
Even
he?
Naruto.
bro. He's on the same level as Naruto.
he only has one eye.
Bro,
No,
Sage
no,
Naruto
he's
would
not.
have beat that nigga's ass. I'm not trying to hear it, son. I'm not trying to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Sasuke's still
for another day, but
Sasuke's still more skilled than Naruto.
So you
though.
think Sasuke had it before they got
the only thing
super
Naruto
extra
had over
Megazord
the only
powers?
thing Naruto had over Sasuke was chakra. Was mad fucking chakra. That's it.
and access to natural jutsu.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No. Because
Oh,
look, even in the final fight against each other, Sasuke was whooping that boy's ass. If it wasn't for Kurama, that shit would have been fucking over within the
Before he
first
learned
10
the
minutes.
Sage style, I don't know, man.
Kurama,
I
I'm telling
think
you, bro.
I think
Without that
Sage Naruto could be
big
Sasuke with
Nine
the
Tails
with the
fucking
Mangekyo.
chakra pool, Sasuke whoops that boy's ass 24/7.
All right. I don't know about. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. Both of these guys are severely nerfed. It's not even entertaining anymore to see any of them do anything.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unless they got some surprises for us. But I don't know. It'd be nice to see some of the other characters do some lit shit. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably not get it at all. But
No, I didn't say I was expecting it.
yeah. Okay. So
I know much better than that. I'm not naive.
yeah. I mean, I guess after we should get back to what's going. Apparently, okay. So they kind of agree. Kawaki and Boruto, where they're like, all right, I guess we're going after Code, but Kawaki says Code's no joke. We have to really prepare. And Boruto's like, well, then we'll do what we usually do when things get tough. We're gonna fucking train.
Training arc, let's go.
Yes,
Hey,
I'm pretty
I mean,
excited for that.
I'll tell you
actually.
what, a classic Kishimoto training arc. He's been pretty good at those.
Was
Honestly.
it? Didn't that make you feel good?
Yeah.
As much fun I was having, going in on the chapter earlier, and then on a really nice note, I was like, wow.
Yeah,
Let's go.
let's not confuse it. We have our fun on this show and our podcast, but I like this chapter.
I like most of the series, even when I go hard on I know how I feel.
We
about
just go
My
hard
Hero Academia
sometimes.
from time to time. Like sometimes I just, I have fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
My opinions are real, but I don't really feel as what's the word I'm looking for?
Hey, look, in all honesty, I'll tell you that I think
It's not that serious.
I think this training
Feel
arc
like that.
will probably be a great thing for Boruto the character, because that's kind of like my only real gripe with this series is I'm not a huge fan of Boruto himself. So, with that being said, I'm pretty excited to see a training arc with them, and yeah, I nothing but good things. I guess we should close this out by saying that Code finally makes it all the way where he was supposed to be with this
Finally.
with this fucking building, and this old man is just chilling on his iPad, just like Fruit Ninja. It's been so long. I'm trying to beat my score. And that's when Code walks in, and this guy is a little nervous to see Code. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Are you here for Jigen?" And Code's just like, "Jigen's dead. Boro's probably dead too. So I guess I'm in charge by de facto for the most part." And he asks how this person named Ada is, and this old man is like, "What? What are you talking about?" And he basically says like, I know that Boro stored a bunch of cyborgs that were supposed to be destroyed here. So, is Ada here? And he's like, well, I don't want to lie to you. I'm pretty much between a rock and a hard place because I don't know if Jigen's really dead, and I also don't want to disobey you because of your scary Gucci powers. So, I'll let you in, and in exchange, you'll pay me, right? And I guess like he doesn't really assure him on that. So after a while, he just goes into this Dragon Ball Z style healing tank where it looks like Ada has been sitting in, and Code calls her Ada, you who knows everything in this world.
Oh my goodness. What's the name of that other cyborg lady? The fucking girl with the pigtails who fucked up Naruto?
Delta?
Yeah, her.
God, that was so annoying.
Yeah.
So is she basically like
annoying fights ever?
Is she basically another version of Delta or something? Like, is she like the same type of person?
Yeah,
like the same type of machine.
Amato mentioned that like he made a bunch of these kids and a lot of them got scrapped. So you know, this is just one of those kids. And Boro seems to have like stored them away for whatever reasons, and she's apparently a very prominent one of them. She seems important enough for Code to himself be looking for, it looks like. So that's interesting enough. This chapter was pretty good. Boruto's been on a pretty solid streak of interesting chapters. We may not have necessarily Naruto and Sasuke as they were, but now is a chance for this series to really kind of stand on its own characters that originated from this series. I'm excited to see what happens next for Boruto. But that's all I got to say about it. Any closing thoughts, boys?
No.
No.
No. I don't think so.
Okay. It is time to randomize. I'll pick this one. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, this is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 143. One more time. Last we left off, Okotsu seems to have looked like he killed Itadori and has knocked the shit out of Choso as well. He looks down on Naoya as he is struggling. He's really just down there like kind of vomiting. Turns out he's been poisoned because Choso's ability is not that he can poison you, but like his body is rejecting the cursed blood that entered his body from Choso's attack, which is a pretty cool fucking side effect to have.
But also, like, this is like the most like, you know, believable thing that could ever happen, you know? Well, like having somebody else's blood just fucking thrown into you.
Yeah, these times
I'm pretty sure that's not healthy, man.
Yeah, it's not good no matter what, honestly. It's pretty gross no matter what.
He's like, what? Why would somebody else's blood affect me like this?
Well,
why do I feel like I'm sick?
I guess he didn't know it would be that bad. What if it's not even a cursed technique? What if he's just like,
yeah, what if it's just like, well, duh, dude, it's kind of fucking gross. You're throwing somebody else's blood
right,
cell.
like maybe some of the dirt that was in the debris and stuff.
Yeah, all of that.
Got in there and that made you feel not that great.
Yeah.
You have to go to the doctors.
I'll take his word for it. I guess.
So
he knows his stuff.
Okotsu offers to heal Naoya, and he's like, my reverse technique can heal people in exchange. And I'm like, oh, I forgot reverse techniques. He can apparently heal people. And in exchange for healing Naoya, he asks him to please inform their superiors about Itadori's death. So at that moment, I was like, I knew it. But we'll get to it when we get to it. We start off with we continue on with a flashback of Itadori's father. He looks a lot like Itadori, which is pretty cool. He's holding a baby Itadori, and we see Itadori.
No, isn't that this guy? No, that's not Naoya.
No, why would it be Naoya?
Kind of. Oh, I was a little confused. He kind of looked like this guy a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
mind.
I guess like with the hair and all that, but this is definitely Itadori and his dad. Because he mentions Yuji, you know, like it's Naoya.
Yeah, this is the first time that we've seen anything about his parents.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this shit was wicked.
This is crazy. Okay, so it turns out like he's standing
So
there
that
with his
means
baby.
both the parents are crazy, but
Yeah. His granddad is up here trying to talk sense into his son. It's just like, hey, I mean, you can live your life however you like, but give up on that woman. You'll die. And he just seems to be like kind of smitten with just having Yuji. And it mentioned that, and his grandfather mentions that like he's been wanting a kid, and for whatever reason, I guess maybe a previous wife of his couldn't bear children, so he seems to have made a child with this curse who has the scars on her forehead, the same ones that that Geto has. So
this means that he really is Choso's brother.
I knew it.
No way.
So does this mean that I feel like, they make it a point that people who like call each other brothers in this series might actually end up being brothers to an extent, right? Because
wait.
This isn't the first time that Itadori's had this effect on somebody, with Choso.
Toto.
I mean, yeah.
Toto is also the same thing.
So there's a chance that he also has that kind of cursed background, or family relation.
It's entirely possible. Here's the thing is that we've learned over the course of the Shibuya incident that the curse that now resides in Geto has lived for many years. So it's inhabited many people's bodies and has made children throughout the years. So we've seen 3 of the kids confirmed up to this point, where it was Choso, one of the weird looking ones, the weird butcher looking
Those
guy.
were Geto's kids.
Yeah.
Or rather the curse,
the curse
thing that's
we
living
can
in
just call him
Geto's
Geto.
body.
His name
Geto's
is
actually a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? And then he got taken over.
They mentioned his Noritoshi is the curse, it looks like.
Noritoshi.
Kama. So, yeah, those are 3 of his kids. Itadori seems to be another one.
So, hold on, my bad. Just so we're on the same page, right? I interpreted this as Kaori is that person we're seeing there.
No.
Who?
Because he mentions that, the grandfather mentions that he wanted a child and it didn't happen with Kaori. So I guess he linked up with this girl who I guess was able to bear children and is also secretly the Noritoshi curse as well. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Kaori is not this woman.
When she said, "What are you talking about?" I kind of thought it was all right.
Oh, she died. Kaori's dead.
I could be wrong, but
sorry,
huh?
Kaori's dead. She says that
yes. What I interpreted that was that they knew she died, and this is I don't know. She came back to life because the thing went in her head, but that's not how it works. He takes over somebody that's already alive, right? He doesn't take over a dead corpse,
right?
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
so there's more stuff to know.
There's obviously more things to know as we cut back to the present. We're obviously going to get a little bit more of an explanation as to the mystery behind Noritoshi down the road, but we cut back to the present. Itadori wakes up and he is across from Okotsu, and Okotsu is laughing. Yay! He's a good boy. He's on the good side. Very excited.
Also one more thing. I think it's really interesting that he only remembered this after reverse curse technique was done on him.
Yeah. Well, I think that has also something to do with Sukuna because he kind of smiled when Yuji hit him. So something's going on with Sukuna in that moment as well. But it's a lot of speculation at this point. Continuing onward. It turns out Okotsu once met up with Gojo, and Gojo asked him to look after Yuji, or even the kids of the Jujutsu High school in general, because in case anything ever happens to him, just look after these kids, especially Yuji, because he was set up for a secret execution, just like you were back in the day. So, look after him. And yeah, he basically kind of just went undercover, assured the elders that he would do their bidding in killing Itadori, and survived. Used his curse technique to kill him and then revive him, essentially. It's pretty cool. This is the second time Yuji's been dead and not dead anymore. So
yeah.
So is Kotsu a master of reverse curse technique then? Does that mean reverse curse technique means he doesn't use negative energy, right? He uses positive energy or love. That's his thing, right?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, well, because
he can use it so well because he has such a high affinity for that.
Yeah, he seems to be able to use both, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, because of his connection with Rika. He loves Rika, so that's why he's able to use reverse curse technique, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, and she's a curse that actually just only cares about him and doesn't want. Well, she does harm other people, but
Yeah.
not just one-time destruction.
Yeah. Just in his name, essentially.
So I think this means that reverse curse technique is mainly used for healing or positive energy, and negative energy is for hurt.
I know there was a big description about reverse curse technique and all that stuff. I have to look back on it. I'm slowly absorbing the anime as a refresher course, weirdly enough. So that's been a big help to remembering certain things for me. But if anybody in the comics wants to let us know, drop below. Tell if you.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It says it's normally used to heal human bodies. That's what it's normally used for. Okay. But I'm pretty sure that there's a lot more to it.
I'm sure
than this.
Yeah, why not? Right?
Yeah, why not?
Because I really do think it's not a coincidence that he remembers this. Like he gets this flashback once reverse curse technique is done on him.
Yeah. So. Okay, so basically Itadori asks him, is like, why did you save me? Why are you doing this? And basically, first of all, Okotsu's like, well, first of all, we are very similar. We basically are going through kind of the same thing. I mean, I thought I had my power forced on me, but I invited it upon myself, but not you. Your power isn't yours to bear, You aren't to blame. And at that moment, that's when a very familiar face shows up. It is Megumi. He pulls up out of nowhere and is
Poggers!
Yeah, our boy. He shows up.
Falk Trump.
And he basically looks down at Itadori. He's like, let's go back to Jujutsu High. We will rejoin the older students, and which means Maki may be alive. Maki may have survived her operation or whatever she was going through, and I'm very excited about that.
I really didn't think she would die. I really was not going to think she was going to die.
Who knows? Honestly, they got rid of a lot. I mean, it's almost guaranteed that Nobara is gone. So, I don't know. It could have been anybody. Jujutsu Kaisen is not one series to hold back, in a way. This is a striking.
I think Nobara is still alive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying that she isn't. I'm reserving judgment. I'm very bad at theorizing these things. She could be alive next chapter. But, yeah, basically they go back, and they're about to... Megumi tries to say, let's go back, and Itadori's like, don't act like nothing happened. Everything that happened, all these people died because of me, and Megumi's like, it's our fault, both of us, But, at the same time, we're not heroes fighting for justice. We're Jujutsu sorcerers. The only way that we can continue to prove our worth of existence, we just have to keep saving people. We're going to make these kind of mistakes. The things we deal with are dangerous for the most part. And he doesn't literally say this, but this is what I'm gleaning from it. It's we just have to save as many people as physically possible with the time we have. So,
I thought this was a really cool moment because, of course, Itadori is kind of a person who is kind of this is a branch away from traditional shonen shit, where it's guilt of wrongdoings and stuff like that. It's not a luxury, it's not something that these people can allow themselves to hold themselves back. It's not in the job description for them to be held back by these emotions,
Yeah.
It's a moment where they had to kind of nut up and keep pushing forward so that, all the lives that were lost aren't in vain. They can save more lives if they push forward.
Right. It's also that the more these negative emotions can manifest into curses themselves and all that. Yeah, it's in their trade. But deep down, Itadori is it's not even just that all of the guilt of the things he's done is that his Megumi's life will be shit as long as Itadori's around. But Megumi kind of just shuts that down. He says, so start by saving me. And he explains that apparently Noritoshi Kamo has made plans for Jujutsu people in general to face off in what's called a culling game. And I guess it will entail the Jujutsu sorcerers as well as the new sorcerers that Kamo has created over the years. And Megumi's sister is one of the Jujutsu sorcerers that were awakened by Kamo. So he's asking Itadori, is like, yo, we gotta go. We gotta free my sister, basically.
Damn.
And the last 2 pages are the rules of the culling game. I won't go into them at depth. Just a quick, very important footnotes. After awakening a cursed technique, players must declare their participation within 19 days of the culling game's beginning. And, there's I guess a bunch of barriers set up, and they have to pick one, go to it, and participate it. If they don't, they get their cursed technique removed. And points are basically distributed based on whether you're able to kill your opponent. Sorcerers are worth 5 points, and non-sorcerers who accidentally may walk into these barriers also count as points. So,
damn, but only 1 point.
That's only 1 point. 1 point per regular person you slaughter for accidentally walking into this zone. And one important rule, I guess, is that you're able to spend 100 points to negotiate with the game master a new rule to the culling game.
That's probably gonna pull up in this story, in this arc. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, this is again an interesting battle royale-esque scenario. I'm really loving this new premise for the arc. Essentially, he's just like, here's the new arc, here are the rules. We're just gonna get it popping immediately.
Just like that.
No time for emotions. It's time to get into the fucking more violence.
Time to shonen time.
He's like, Itadori, listen, you don't understand. I don't give a fuck about how you feel right now. I really need you to get your shit together and help me.
Yeah. Wow.
Sumiki.
She's
involved. That's the chick with the weapons, right?
No, Sumiki is Megumi's sister, who's been in a coma for the better part of this series until just now.
She awoken with the cursed spirit.
Yeah, she's one of the She's one of the sorcerers that Noritoshi infected with cursed technique. So she's got to participate. Someone's gonna have to fight Megumi's sister. But yeah, I mean, RGC for me. I came to the conclusion.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
It was pretty easy to kind of figure that Okotsu was not gonna just kill Yuji. But I love the new rules. I love this I love they're just going straight into the next one. I like that we've had our epilogue and we've had our a chance to see. There's a lot of intrigue going on with the supporting cast. We don't know who's available to even fight in this culling game. We don't know who'll show up. There's still the Kyoto kids who might just pull up. Teachers may get involved. Jujutsu sorcerers who are teachers at these schools may get involved.
Because anybody could walk into these barriers.
Yeah. And anybody with cursed energy in general can participate. So I'm very excited to see where this goes. It's a very interesting premise for a battle scenario, I would say. But I mean, that's all I gotta say. Best chapter of the week for me.
Same.
You guys ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
Can I get an RGC?
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
With that being said, let's randomize.
He said, is this ice? Dickhead, is it cold?
Undead Unluck. I chose that sound because it's winter everywhere and there's snow. There's snow. This is Undead Unluck chapter 56, Because You Believe. Last we left off, Billy seemed to have been giving his best during the battle against Injustice Juice over here. And she's basically asking him, why didn't you do this? Why are you... I thought you betrayed us. Why aren't you fighting like you mean it? And he's like, yeah.
Why are you allowing me to win?
Yeah. And she's like, And Billy responds like, yeah, that was the idea. I planned to betray you from the start. You know, you guys are simply the ammo that I need to defeat God and nothing more. But, you know, luckily Undead Unluck showed up, and because of them, he was able to move forward even further than, I guess, the last time loop that happened. So,
Billy!
So things are good. But the vision of justice he's had has never aligned with the Union, so, you know, I'm not gonna give up. So Juice is like, you still have undead powers, right? So I'm just gonna lop your head off and take your head back with me. So she goes after him, and she does the whole injustice thing, swings her flaming sword, and the next page, 2-page spread, Juice is just arm gone, splurting blood, and Billy's like, yeah.
Oh.
Ew.
Whole lot.
Failure!
Yeah, I like that.
So, yeah, Juice is like, but what? I used my injustice. And Billy's like, yeah, spoiler alerts. I wasn't holding back against you. I couldn't use it because you believed in me.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how that works mechanically. We don't know a lot. I know that his negation is unbelievable. So it hasn't been explained so much as what his abilities are. It seems that like what we know of is that he's able to pull off the impossible while using his negation, but we don't know how that correlates to him being able to copy abilities like he does. But
oh, I see. I guess because how she truly felt was that, like, you know, he wasn't a traitor or whatever.
yeah,
And
the second
so for him to use injustice, it wouldn't have worked. She would have just smoked that nigga.
Well,
You
he
know
couldn't
what I'm
use
saying?
he couldn't use his like copy ability because her belief in him, it kind of fucked with his negation. He has to not be believed in order to use it. I don't know.
Yo, I don't remember his negation.
They didn't explain it.
I actually do not remember.
They didn't go into detail. His negation is unbelievable, though. They did name it as his negation is unbelievable. We just don't know the particulars about it. It hasn't been like explained like other powers have been.
What? Yeah, I need a breakdown of that.
Yeah, there is none yet. I'm sure we'll get there eventually, though. At that point, Juice is like, "Fuck this, I'm out," and she calls on Move to basically warp her back to the hideout, to the Union headquarters. And who's this guy? What was it? What was this? He's
Stain, spoil,
No, he's not Spoil.
heat.
He's
Listen.
something. No, he's not unbreakable.
He can listen really well.
I think he's
That's his
unbreakable. Whatever.
thing. Who?
The robot guy, the guy who's like crouching over the ball.
Oh,
He's one of the Uns. I remember they
Okay.
revealed his ability. But yeah, she's basically like, why? He's basically like, why did you go after fucking Billy? Now you don't have an arm. And yeah, Juice is like, well, whatever. I guess these guys really are against us now. So we cut back to, I guess, the place where Billy is. He's lying on the floor because he still got hit with spoil, but he's not really concerned about it. He's like, it'll be all right. He gets patched in with Feng, who we've seen before, but we don't really know his ability or whatnot. He's on his way, I guess, going to take down Summer, right? They're going after Summer. And he calls him over to be like, hey, this also kind of aligns with your interests, so help me out. This time, we're taking Unluck. And yeah, that's where the chapter ends. I guess this Feng character is going to have to face off against Andy and Fuko for both Summer and Fuko herself.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm into it. It was a very interesting chapter because, like, I thought Billy, this is just the end because they have bigger fish to fry with these other rules. But yeah, Billy's still a player and he has Winter. Juice didn't leave with Winter, so I guess they'll
That's
have
true.
to get Winter back at some point. But yeah, I'm here for it. Not much to say. Good chapter overall. Ready to move on, boys?
Oh yeah.
It's time to randomize. There's no significance to the violin. The X books.
Cable.
Yeah, we're starting with Cable number 9.
Did you notice the cup on the cover?
Oh, it's a Sentinel.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's funny, huh?
Yeah, that's cute.
I wonder if that means anything.
No, I think it's just a cute little riff.
Cable, everybody was scared of the old man. Nobody's scared of the kid. Yikes.
Anonymous patron at the Green Lagoon. We start off with this mission aboard this AIM submarine. 2 AIM, I guess, scientists seem to just bounce from the area and head towards this torpedo hatch. And it's revealed to be Cable and Esme, one of the cuckoos. They just accomplished a little mission. Apparently, AIM has been lurking around the Krakoan water space, whatever you call that. And they basically disarmed them and got rid of their communications. So they're basically stuck in this submarine for hours or however long it'll take them to get communication. And that's when Cable just kind of like fucks off to go find Strife, who's been his main enemy throughout this series so far. Which
is also himself.
Yeah. He seems to go to China or something, and he links up with Wolverine, who's on an undercover mission. And he just blows up his spot immediately. So Wolverine's like, all right, I guess I can't help you. I'm on an undercover mission. You just ruined it. And he just starts fighting his way out, and Cable's like, all right, I guess I'll leave then. So he does that. Cable goes over to the Boneyard, where the X Factor headquarters is, tries to get Rachel Summers to locate where Strife is, but she can't really find him anywhere. So, bummer. He then goes to Magic, who's training some kids, and I forgot I honestly a little bit forgot what happens here with these dragons and shit. But honestly, weirdly not super important. He goes over to the Wild Hunt, fights Wildside for a hot second, and yeah, I don't know. It is like just a lot of moving around for
he's trying to figure out where the hell Strife is, and it's like, goddamn, that's what this whole comic is about. And there's a lot of funny banter in between. Yeah, basically. Yeah, Hope shows up for some reason, and Cable kind of reveals to her that, like, all right, I mean, I've been on my heels since the tournament, and I'm gonna need your help if I'm gonna do what needs to be done. And it turns out he's implying that they resurrect the other guy, the older Cable, because he's just better than this young Cable. And the chapter ends with Cable somewhere out there sometime lying in a ditch somewhere, because last we saw him, he fell in a literal hole, like a little booby trap. And that's where this chapter ends. It was all right. I mean, I wasn't crazy about it. It was just kind of like meh. We get a very critical... I'll tell you this. I think the most important part of this whole entire issue was the final page. Yeah. When they started talking about... where they addressed the whole clone or duplicate situation. Right. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but obviously the stance on Krakoa is they're not going to revive clones of people, which is weird because they have a girl that's a clone on Krakoa already. At least one person that I know of. The little girl that's in New Mutants that hangs with the Shadow King and the watery guy. Yeah. She's like X-23's little sister. Lauren's sister. Yeah. She's technically a clone, but maybe she didn't have to be revived. Maybe she was already alive, so they just allowed her to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's very weird. I don't know the history all that much about X-23's sisters. I kept up with the original Wolverine series for a little bit, but not far enough to really understand where they super came from or all that stuff. So maybe there is something, just there's an inherent real nature to this girl, but and that's why they kept her around. And I guess she wasn't dead either, so that's why they kept her around.
Yeah. I guess that's why there's an exception with her. But they also made a point. There's also the possibility where if they can't find Cable at some point in time, right, or wherever he's at, they could, in theory, revive the older version of Cable as long as the kid Cable is able to sacrifice himself because of their rules. You can only have one version.
Yeah, you can only have one version
of yourself. Yeah, like you're not locked to just whatever is on Krakow at the moment. Like if there are other versions of you, but then you just only one at a time, which I think there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be way more information regarding that. I just thought that was kind of critical.
Well, that's the whole point of X Factor too, is to make sure that, you know, they're not resurrecting somebody who's not actually dead. So, you know, that's you're right. That was like a little bit of a tidbit. It went into further detail of that specific rule. But yeah, overall, just a pretty solid issue. I learned recently that actually Cable is recently canceled. I think the 12th issue will be the final one. This is the 9th. So
cool.
You know,
I feel bad saying that.
Yeah, no, I don't feel great about it because there have been.
It hasn't been that interesting to me.
Yeah, there've been good issues here and there. It wasn't bad ever.
I think the art's really cool and some of the. I don't know.
Honestly,
whatever. It's one of the weaker X books, but it's still good enough.
Yeah,
know?
One of these days we got to do a ranking of our favorites. Like,
yeah,
that'll be fun to do. But in any case, yeah, that was Cable. Our other X book this week is Excalibur, which I guess of the two gets my VGI.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't.
Certified VGI.
I can't really. I don't really want to give it to either. I wasn't. You know what? Yeah, we'll give it to Excalibur. It was entertaining.
Yeah, I kind of like this
it's
one.
Interesting.
Certified
VGI. All right, fair enough.
I do for the most part like this one. This is kind of like a continuation of a storyline between two characters, QAnon as we refer to her, QAnon and Betsy. For those who don't know, Betsy has inhabited QAnon's body as Psylocke for a long time, and they've only recently gotten their bodies back individually. So, you know, that this issue kind of centers around that. We open on an alternate Earth in the Braddock Watchtower, where it's one of the homes of the multiple Captain Britons, the Elspeth Braddock of the Elizabeth Braddock of this time, whose name is Elspeth. And she's just been tracking down. Good for her, honestly. She's really putting she's
mad working.
Yeah, and she actually finds her because, as we found out, the 616 Betsy Braddock was in an alternate universe. She is no longer there. She walked through this portal, and I guess she's just been bouncing around multiverses ever since. And this Captain Britain finds her and just kind of captures her essence, I guess. And she goes over. She calls the other Captain Britons. Is like, yo, we got to pull up to Saturnine and try to talk to her about this fucking situation. And of course they do that, and Saturnine is not necessarily open to suggestion when it comes to this Betsy Braddock, because she hates this woman the most out of all of them.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, back on Krakoa, Richter's trying to engage this, like, I guess, resurrection magic.
Oh wait, time out. I'm so sorry. You know what? This issue did earn VGR for me, and I don't know if you mentioned it, but maybe I didn't catch it quite clearly. But just to be very, very on point, one of the Betsy goes in on
Saturnine.
On Saturnine. She was like, hold on, I gotta quote it. Okay. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on.
Damn it. Oh, okay. So, okay. It's towards the beginning when they're talking to the fish-like serpent.
Yeah.
I mean, the servant, right? So, they're saying, "Oh, what the fuck? Where's she at? Where's she at?" So a servant comes out and's like, "Listen, she doesn't want to be bothered." And they're like, "Yo, tell her this. If she's hoping for a different Captain Britain, he's retired, married, and not interested." So let's cut this. Yo, they all knew already, man. They all knew. It's like you're not low. We all know what you're salty about. You're being incredibly petty. Give us our fucking captain.
Yeah, basically. And
oh man, that was hilarious.
Saturnine still says no, and that's when Saturnine.
No, she said ... No.
Multiple ellipses.
Like a child.
Mm-hmm.
No. After all of that logic.
So, the Captain Britons go to, including one that's, I guess, a duck or a goose. It's a goose. They just walk over to Avalon and give the essence of Betsy to Excalibur team, who are trying to... Richter is vexed. He's trying his best to just I
can't do this fucking magic.
This is bullshit. I fasted for this. I hate this. And Brian's like, hey, I got this. I got Betsy right here. We just have to figure out how to get her body back. So Psylocke basically says all right, we're not going to keep doing the same thing expecting different results. She cracks the fucking lantern open and allows her fucking Betsy's essence to just escape through the...
I ain't gonna hold you, man. That's kind of wild. I'm surprised her friends ain't said it on her.
I mean, they did a little bit. They were like, what the fuck?
No, I mean, I'm surprised Brian Braddock didn't cut her head off her shoulder blades. But then again, Psylocke's not a chump.
Yeah. No, she
if
wouldn't have
anyone was gonna do something, it probably would have been Gambit or Rogue, and even then.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
Psylocke's not scared of them.
It's like the Britons said, he's retired, married, he's not that man anymore.
Not that nigga no more. He's not interested.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, Quanon's like, all right, I'm gonna go into Otherworld to go find her. Everybody tries to go with her, but she's like, I'll go alone. It's better for me to go alone.
It's a hunt.
Yeah, it's a hunt.
Which is she's not making it any better.
You
broke her little stone cage.
Yeah.
And now you're saying you're hunting her.
Yeah.
All right.
So she fucks off into Avalon, and she immediately finds where Betsy went, because there's just this blue fire happening in the middle of a village in a well. And Quanon's like, oh, cool, found you. And she just jumps in. There's a skeleton of Captain Britain down there. What? Did she die down there before?
No, this is just a mental image. I don't know why. She's literally saying, you show everyone right where you are. And when someone gets down here, it's nothing but walls, but you are like me. And I know some of these walls need a little push. And then there's another room. And
yeah, she ends up in a torture chamber.
One of the captains is dead. I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's weird.
I guess it's just for show.
Yeah. She ends up in this weird torture chamber where I guess Betsy is, and she's like, I don't want to fight you. Why have you come for me? Leave me here or some shit. I don't have a body. And she's like,
leave me alone.
Chill, dude. Your friends have a body for you. And, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a convincing going on. Quanon basically has to convince Betsy to kind of inhabit her body again. And Betsy's essence is manifested into the Twilight Sword, which is pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really like it.
And at that moment, that's when the weird stained glass thing of Betsy reforms under Saturnine, and Saturnine is like, her hater senses go crazy. She's like, what? No! And Psylocke makes it through the portal and returns Betsy's essence into her body, and Betsy's back. She coughs up this weird, scary little mask collar.
It was really weird.
Yeah, and it just fucks off. It's like, you found me, and it goes through the portal, and ends up on Krakoa, I guess. Apparently this...
Yeah, I had no idea what the...
Yeah, this was a little confusing. Apparently this thing's name is Malice, and her power, she could just... take over people's bodies, which is very similar to the Morgan that they're currently taking down in X Factor. So now they got 2 of these fucking guys here. 2 of these body snatchers. That's where this issue ends. Yeah, I mean, I like this issue a fair amount. I didn't expect Betsy to be back right this issue, but I guess this was a pretty quick solution. I'm glad it's I'm glad she's back and the Excalibur team as a whole, and we have a little bit of a direction as to where the series is going. Good issue. A little bit closer to patching the relationship between Kwannon and Betsy as well. I'm here for it. But that's all I got to say about the X books. You guys ready to go? Move on. Let's do it. Randomize.
Rocket to punch!
Dragon Ball Super. This is Dragon Ball Super Chapter 70. I won't lie, I really got caught off guard for some reason. I spaced out, but we're here. Dragon Ball Super. Chapter 70, the universe's greatest warrior.
I'm a little disappointed that this dragon didn't have to go to Dragon HR to grant this wish.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. He goes like, you want to be the strongest warrior in the universe? So you wish to become more powerful aside from the gods themselves, right? That's what you want. And I guess Granola's like, good enough. Yes, I can do that. Can you do that? And this dragon looks at him and is like, well, it's possible to make you stronger, but I can't increase your power beyond your latent potential. So I can only make you as strong as you can physically be. So, yeah. And he's like, damn it. There's no point to that. I don't get much stronger than what I am. But this dragon is like, wait, there is a condition. There is a way for you to be the strongest warrior in the universe, but that decision is up to you. There's like, you have to give something up in order to make this happen. And Granola, being a thirst bucket, is like, yes, I'll do it. Whatever it is, I'll do it, bro.
I'll cheat, dude. Give me the cheat code. What's the cheat code?
Whatever. You ain't saying nothing.
I really only need this power for like 2 weeks. I'm trying to find Frieza, and that's about it. After that,
I gotta put him back in the grave.
After that, I can go. I don't care. We then cut to Vegeta and Goku training with Beerus and Whis, and Vegeta's trying to master the power of the gods of destruction by kind of just destroying this little rock. He manages to do it, but Beerus is like, you didn't do it right. You just did it with like a regular chi blast. Not like me, I could just like pick a target and completely erase it out of existence. And he demonstrates with this tiny rock. And yeah, Goku's like, whoa, they're training, huh? Beerus is training Vegeta, and Goku's like, and Whis is like, is that a problem? And Goku's like, nah, I'm gonna let him do him. I just want to polish Ultra Instinct. And it gets to a point where they're talking about like the strongest being in the universe, and the fish is like, oh, I know who that is. There is somebody already. And Vegeta is like, I bet it's me, right? I'm the strongest being. And in that moment, he manages to erase a tiny pebble the way that the gods of destruction can, which, good for Vegeta.
Let's go.
Skill unlocked.
Dude, this series should just be about Vegeta, honestly. Every time Vegeta does some cool shit, I'm like, all in.
I mean, it basically is. Until the last part of the arc, then it's not about Vegeta anymore.
Yeah, just erase Goku, you know? Or at least like put Goku in like is inside of like a cage for a bit, you know?
Yeah. Well, weirdly enough, I like that Vegeta's not everywhere because it makes you appreciate it. I feel like Vegeta's arc would be a little more exacerbated if like it was all the time. So Goku's kind of like a nice clean break from Vegeta to make us appreciate him a little bit more. But in any case, we cut back to the planet Cereal, where the dragon has granted Cereal's wish and has granted him not only unlimited power, but very long locks.
Unlimited power.
Luxurious.
3, Super Serial 3.
Super Serial 3. And he tries out this new power by levitating a rock with his mind and then just exploding it, much like, I guess, Beerus does. So, I think that's what we're supposed to infer here, is that he's as strong as Beerus is and can do the God of Destruction thing. This wakes up the Namekian guy that he lives with. He's like, what? What the fuck was that? And then he looks over and he's like, the Dragon Ball. No! He confronts Granola about this, and Granola's like, "Whatever, old man. I'm the strongest warrior in the universe now. You can't do nothing to me." He goes to fuck off to take down Frieza, and this old man is stressed about it. He's like, "Wait, Granola, what have I done? I've upended his life again." Like,
yeah, second time. Did they explain what happened the first time?
No.
Did I miss that? All right.
I have no idea, but yeah, who knows? So Granola flies off, and Whis is watching this happen. He's watching him cut his hair because I guess the hair's getting in the way. It has nothing to do with his power. He just has long hair now, and Whis looks down at him, kind of concerned, and which is rare because he looks down and he's like, "Whoa, this might be a problem." So
he had a very concerned look on his face.
Yeah. So Granola pulls up to the heater's base, and in a short, he basically proceeds to dispatch the heater. Like, he pulls up and is like, "Where's Frieza?" And he's like, "We don't have to tell you nothing." And he basically fights off all of the heaters, one by one, except for Oil, or Gas, I think his name is, right? The little one. Brian, your mic is muted.
I don't know why they're like gassing up Gas so much right now.
It's funny. I would like to think that Alec was like, "Yo, no, chill, Gas." And Gas is like, "Okay," but the inside he's like, "Thank God."
He's like, "Fuck this shit."
He's putting on a brave face, but he is so happy he doesn't have to fight Granola right now. So basically, they asked us like, "Yo, where'd you get all this power from?" And if you want us to tell you where Frieza is, you have to we have to make sure that you're strong enough to kill him. And Granola basically says, "Yeah, whatever. I used the Dragon Balls, so all good." And explains like, "How did you do that? Can they even do that much?" And Granola's like, "Nah, dude. I sacrificed my remaining 150 years of my life to gain this power, and Cerealians live for 200. So, he sacrificed 50 years, and to gain all this power, he now only has 3 remaining years left to live." Jeez Louise, he really is mad at Frieza. Imagine that.
Oh, he destroyed his whole home.
Oh no, I get it. I get it. I'm just like, whoa, that's some rage. So yeah, he basically the heaters make a deal with him. Is like, hey, we don't know where Frieza is yet. We're looking into it, but as soon as we know, we'll tell you. And Granola's like, "All right, bet," and he walks away. So basically, after realizing that he is now the strongest being in the universe, they're like, "All right, whatever, he's got to go." So I guess they're gonna misfeed him information to go to send Granola over to where the Saiyans are. And since the Saiyans were able to beat Moro, who was impossibly strong, they might have the biggest chance of being able to defeat Granola himself. And the chapter ends as fate will bring these 3 together. Yeah, I mean, cool chapter. I'm very interested to see what the dynamic is. I figured that Granola would have to give up something pretty substantial in order to get this power. So, I'm into it. I'm interested to see where this takes the protagonist on a developmental standpoint, because this guy is what they want to become, right? So I'm into seeing where that goes. Any thoughts, boy? That's all I got.
I think it's interesting, like I wonder just how strong Granola is and like what it is exactly that he can do, because it looks like destruction stuff, but I'm not that sure.
I think it is at least destruction, God of Destruction level, because we spent all this time building up like Beerus's example with the rock, and I feel like that's significant in what he was doing. Like it was a build up to explain how strong Granola has gotten in general. So maybe he is on the level of Beerus at the very least. He's the strongest thing in the universe, so who knows? He's probably maybe stronger than Whis, because that would have to include Whis.
He said aside from the gods.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he used the God of Destruction thing, if that's what that was implied.
No, but telekinesis is a thing in
the explosion is what
Dragon
I'm
Ball.
referring to, like the big fucking explosion of the boulder. I think that's correlated to.
Maybe Vegeta did that after he made the wish, because he said the strongest warrior in the universe, and that was at that moment. Perhaps. I'm just saying that's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not very
Vegeta
clear.
learned that afterwards, and that's the whole point that they're going to continue to develop while he's at this stuck state.
Yeah, it's not very clear, and I'm just, I guess I'm just going off of like previous data that was built up to this point. But yeah, I don't really have an answer for that. It'll be interesting to see, because like he has no real quarrel with the Saiyans. Like, oh well, except for Bardock. Yeah, he's gonna probably want to fuck Goku up. Now that I think about it, he doesn't have a beef with them. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for Dragon Ball Super. Interesting chapter. You guys ready to move forward?
Yes, sir.
Then let us randomize.
I hope he turns his sword into some guns.
My Hero Academia. Okay.
Here we go.
This is a big one. This is My Hero Academia chapter 306. I reveal the title later because it seems to be of massive importance.
You'll save the title for later because it was on the last page.
It is on the last page.
Of the... Nah, I'm not going to spoil. What else is the last one? But sure.
All I ask is that we keep it civil. we hear each other out. And we see where this goes, because this is a very polarizing...
RGC.
Yeah, this is Brian's really good chapter of the week.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will die defending this chapter.
Well, let's hope we don't have to. We start off where we left off before. The team of Hawks and Best Genius are now talking to All Might, and they're basically asking him, "Yo, what's this all for one stuff about? Or one for all stuff about?" I'm keeping it brief because I think we're going to be talking about this for a while. But in any case, All Might says, "I'll tell you everything." So All Might's going to reveal kind of the secrets of One for All and the history behind that. So apparently, we hear that the principal explains that the heroes are going to have a press conference to really respond or explain the recent events that's been going down. And really what the public was after is not necessarily to blame them or to like give them shit necessarily. A lot of people are really just looking for a reassurance from them that everything that was said by Dabi was false, that all of the deaths are, I mean, I guess like it really affected them in a way. Like they're just looking for reassurance that their future will be bright. And right off,
that's a good way to say it.
And right off the bat, Endeavor just goes off and is like, "Yeah, he didn't lie. Everything he said is true. I can't apologize enough for what I've done." And everybody is just like, shit. We see like reactions around the world where everybody's like, man, he should have fucking just said it was a bunch of lies and it's all over for that guy. We have no fucking faith in you. And they're like, well, clearly Best Genius, Hawks's accusation is false because Best Genius is right here. And Hawks is like, true, but that's true. My whole thing with Best Genius was like a way to infiltrate their ranks. But the bit about his father and the bit about him killing a defenseless villain were both true. So, sorry about that. And as for Bubai Gawara, I felt like there was no choice. He's so fucking strong, and he was going to continue to be a problem. I needed to get him out of the pictures to prevent further death and destruction. Honestly, it's hard to...
It's true. If you... Well, not to... Sorry to cut you off, but I feel like there's a huge point being made there because of... He was still starting to... Like, he was still continuing to develop.
Right.
Like, him making all of those clones and being able to make copies of people, that was honestly probably just the beginning, or even just the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he could have done more. Remember when he had the copy of Midnight? What's the dude's name? The leader of the...
Yeah,
huh?
What's his face? You're right. I keep forgetting his name because he doesn't pop up anymore like that.
Yeah, man, a big Hulk.
Redestro.
Yeah, man, he made
a cool name. How do I keep forgetting?
That pulled up to the public to see. Like, imagine he made, like, had that clone continue to rampage. It would have been over for that city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So
yeah. That was just one example. I thought that was a nice little touch. Like, it felt kind of out of place before. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was just a random kind of tidbit. Or, I don't know, like maybe kind of more of that force feeding of feel bad about Bubakawa or whatever. Hear his words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like, but now I feel like, no, that was done to kind of show like look how deadly this person was.
Yeah, I mean, it was a no choice situation. It felt like, but he feels bad about it. He didn't want to kill Bubai Gawara. He's just like looking at in the moment in this high pressure situation. This is like, you got to make a call. And this guy is too dangerous to keep around. There's no way he's switching over to our side. So he has to go. And one of the reporters has a personal experience where her mother was horribly wounded and brings up the point is like, okay, you guys saying sorry, it's all true, isn't really changing anything. I mean, all these people are suffering and all you got is, well, it is what it is basically what you're saying. And they're just like, Endeavor's like, I mean, we've been suffering too. If we showed you all of our pain and exhaustion and tears, will that fix something? And they did not like that response. And Endeavor responds with like, look, that's the way I atone is by taking down every last villain out there. And Best Genius continues to explain that like their ranks are shrinking, heroes are quitting, and there are people who are ill-equipped to protect the masses at large. So we're just trying to reduce overall speed that requires our attention. So basically UA and other hero programs will use their campuses as evacuation shelters so that people can kind of just like live and they don't have to be so spread out. Like a bulk of the population will be in one place or another. It minimizes the amount of places where heroes have to go, which is it's pretty smart. Will people like it? I don't know, but basically, Endeavor says that like regardless, like this is gonna suck for a while. You might all have to live in basically shelters with each other, but this is all for finding a path moving forward until we can get this situation under control. And he says, your criticism and doubts, direct them all at me. I just want all of you to watch me. And he puts on his flame mask. And
that part made me fucking smile because, it's like, this is probably the most number one hero moment Endeavor has ever had in the entire series. Like, this was the moment where he's officially kind of like, it's not like intentional, but this is like the moment where he's not thinking about being the best. This is him thinking about like accepting the true responsibility of being the number one hero. Mm-hmm. And that means taking everything on. Like if the hero society is in shambles right now, he needs to be the one to be taking all of it. He needs to be the one to carry that burden and and keep pushing it forward so that they can move on as a society, you know? He can be the face of hope, but he could also be like the face that can relieve tension by being the target of the crowd, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's two sides of a coin, you know? He can be the inspiring figure, or he can be the guy who takes all the responsibility of hero society's actions.
Yeah.
So this moment was very, very beautiful for me. I really enjoyed everything about Endeavor for the past couple of chapters.
I'll say this. I think like it's a part of being a number one hero. Like Endeavor kind of like reached out that one time. I remember to ask like All Might, like, how did you do this? How did you become like the real actual number one? And it's not just like having the strongest power or being the strongest hero alone doesn't make you the number one hero. You have to be a symbol. Like you have to be a pillar, and you have to be somebody that the people can put their hopes in. You know, it's about uplifting a society as well as saving people. You know, like in fighting and you know being strong, but you also have to be able to inspire. And it's a very interesting way of doing it, because I don't think All Might would have. All Might's whole thing is that like he was a symbol of peace during like peace times. You know, he was like in a good time to be the number one hero.
Really, I don't know.
Wasn't he?
Because like
Oh,
we don't
he
know a
saved the
lot
world,
about
yeah.
in like All Might's like time as a hero, but I think it was him becoming a hero and all of his actions that made the world a better place. You know?
True. Yeah. I mean, it's all that.
He fought All for One twice.
Yeah.
First time left
Yeah.
him with that crazy
Right.
wound, right? And
Yeah.
had he not been able to beat him, there would have been no peacetime.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Like I was
Now,
thinking.
I would argue.
go ahead.
My bad if you let me finish.
No,
I
no,
would
no.
argue
Yeah, go ahead.
One of the major differences, well, the reason why there's such a big difference between All Might and Endeavor going through whatever he's going through is because if All Might was here, none of this shit would have been going down. Period. He made everything happen. You know, I do remember when Endeavor approached All Might and asked him about how to be number one and all of that. But I'm going to tell you this: I don't think All Might had. I remember him saying something about, you know, you have to be, you know, something along the lines of being positive and looking ahead and remembering it's all about saving people, et cetera, et cetera. Don't keep your head down. You know, you got to think about the bigger picture. I remember it was something like that, but I don't think this was ever a situation All Might could relate to, because at the end of the day, Endeavor's not that strong. He's just not. And the funny thing is, when I seen this picture, and this is part of the reasons I feel like I like the chapter, because there was like good techniques, and I believe that this moment where you seen him flare up his mask in a reaction to what this reporter was being very emotional about, which, side note, I think it was a little dramatic. I think in real life, I think people are trolls online, but I don't think the people who are very serious about their jobs and their work and who actually, you know, report on these type of things respond like that. I didn't feel a connection, and I felt like the author is trying to relate this to actual real life, but maybe that's just my opinion. Anyways, I seen Endeavor here. I see a man that's scared and doesn't know what to do, but figures I'm gonna do the only thing I know how to do, which is flare up and try to be as strong as I can, and I guess learn more along. I mean, you know, he has changed and he's going to develop in that way, but this ain't reassuring, and I think that's what Horikoshi did very well in these last in these last 5 or 6 chapters. You know what I'm saying? Towards the end of the Shigaraki war arc into what we're seeing now is that the Hero Society is over.
Yeah.
They had to make people move into shelters. Like, the crazy thing is, I didn't really fully understand that until we until we went over this. Now, I thought I kind of just assumed it was like, oh, when something goes down, everyone's going to be able to move to these specific areas and we'll organize it that way. No, it's over for society. Like, they're saying, look, people, we need to keep y'all in these spaces to keep y'all safe, because things are not okay out there.
Yeah.
It is over, and I will not even admit, I will just say that Horikoshi did that very well with changing the entire, like, flipping the story. And we all knew this was going to happen. I mean, I definitely called it a lot of times. I was like, even when Endeavor was fighting against the Nomu, I was like, bro, this is over, son. He got his ass beat. What the fuck does that mean for everybody else? You feel me? And they supposed to have more of these Nomus? That's another reason why the war arc was kind of silly to me, because they had a whole bunch of these Nomus, and honestly, these heroes should not have been able to keep up at all. But again, that's just...
I mean, they didn't.
They weren't completed, though. Not all of them were completed.
Guess, bro, but oh my god.
Like, they made it a point that these guys weren't complete.
Was completed?
Yeah, it was. That's why it was sent at him, you know? They didn't send an incomplete product to fight the number one hero.
Yeah, they called these the near high.
They sent their best product.
They said
which was better than the ones that were incomplete.
They were near high-end Nomu, right?
Yeah, they're near high.
That's what I'm saying. They wasn't like a quarter of or half of, near. Like what, 80% maybe? 75%?
Well, and there also weren't that many to begin with. Of the near high ends, there was a lot of Nomu, but of those specific ones. And a lot of them got away. I think like there's 9 of them out there.
They did get away. You're right. It's not like they got beat. They just was held out. All right, whatever. Again, that was a super sidetrack, and I probably shouldn't have even brought that up.
Yeah, the priority was getting Shigaraki out there.
I think Horikoshi did a really good job in flipping the whole environment and the tone of the story.
Yeah.
Which I also thought about a little bit, like in the days, because I read this comic at least once every day of the week, because like I felt very strongly.
Yeah.
The first time I read it, I was really, really upset, very disappointed, and I felt like everything I was saying prior, like that, I felt like where I was just going a little too hard. I almost felt like I was validated, and I didn't want that to be the case, man. I didn't want to feel. Well, anyway, I'll express that a little bit more as we finish up. Let me not.
On the only thing I'll say is like on the part of the journalists, I think that's like an established thing that there's a lot of like gotcha journalism when it comes to the heroes, you know, like every time they've had like a
it's lame to me. It's lame. It's a little extra.
Yeah, it's a little.
You know what
much.
I'm saying?
We
get it. A whole city was just fucking destroyed, bro. Like,
yeah.
We don't need to scarecrow. You know what I'm saying? Media. They expose themselves in their own ways. You don't have to make it seem that bad.
Yeah.
They're not that obvious about it.
For sure. We get a little bit of glimpses of other heroes around the world. We see Mirko. She's okay. She's like getting ready to go.
Well, she's not okay. She still doesn't have an arm and a leg.
Well, she's not where. I mean, like she looks like determined. Is what I mean. She's alive. Also, is what I also mean. She's alive. Kamui Woods seems to have leaf hair now, and he's putting on his mask or whatever. That's pretty cool. Aizawa has an eye patch now. Just like you said, eye patch out. I think this is Nejire who has Midnight's mask.
Yeah. No, that's wait, Nejire is the mountain, right?
That's Miss Mountain.
Oh, that's Mountain Lady. You're right, that's the Mountain Lady. Sorry. I thought that was like supposed to be Midnight's mask, but I guess not. No, yeah, this is Mountain Lady. My bad. Didn't see enough of the hair, honestly. But yeah, the next.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Is she one of the core characters? Not at all. Like, why are we looking anyway?
Okay,
you don't feel bad at all, bro, for missing that, because she really doesn't matter.
I miss Midnight. Midnight was cool. I don't like that she died.
Bless you. Oh no, Miss Midnight was really cool. I'm talking about Miss Mountain.
Mountain Lady?
No, I don't feel bad for Mountain Lady. She's okay. She's alive.
That's what I'm saying. That was Mountain Lady.
No, yeah, I didn't know. That's what I was saying. I thought it was Nejire holding Midnight's mask.
Oh.
You came at me, dude.
No.
You came for blood.
Coming for your ass.
To make you feel bad, I was misinformed. All right, I didn't catch that.
All right.
I was trying to make you be like, fuck that. Don't worry about her.
Hey, buddy, we're cool.
All right.
We're cool. Okay, so the next thing that happens is that back at the dorms, Endeavor didn't snitch about All for One, One for All, because they're still trying to keep that a secret, because there's a lot of villains out there looking for Midoriya, so he's trying not to make a big splash about it. And a lot of the UA students seems to have letters. Every student seems to have their own personalized letter from him, which is actually kind of a sweet gesture. He wrote something for everyone in his class, which is kind of nice. And this letter explains like the whole thing about One for All to his friends because I guess they deserve to know.
Sure, I guess.
I mean, I think that's cool. I think like the cast.
That's a very Deku thing to happen, honestly.
Well, I think that everybody in this series now, all the major characters being on the same page is pretty important. At this stage of the game,
tell which. I guess it's a fictional series, so the author can make it so that doesn't happen. But it's just like someone, you know what I'm saying? Like someone could just mention that shit by accident, and then boom, now it's all out. To the public. I mean, they wanted to keep. Oh, anyway.
Well, I think the kids are very, very locked into their dorms, so they don't go out really. I don't think.
Oh.
So. They're pretty confused.
Yeah, at least not yet, because I'm pretty sure these guys are going to be their plan B for Hero Society right now.
And I'm sure Midoriya included in the letter, like, yo, don't tell nobody.
Yes, please don't tell nobody.
Yeah, for real. I'm trusting you.
For real.
Scouts on.
There's no way they don't pick up on this, though.
Who?
Like the
world?
The teachers and the fucking
teachers
heroes. Know. Like, there's no way they don't.
The teachers know.
Oh, man.
No, All Might explain.
Like, they're not going to be okay with this, I think.
All Might explain.
That's what I'm saying.
All Might explain to, like, Hawks and Best Genius what the deal was.
Oh, wait, no. We haven't gotten up to that part yet. Never mind.
Oh, this, of course, I agree. I don't think anybody's going to be cool with this, and that's why I'll explain my feelings on it later. But, yeah, everybody's kind of bummed out. Midoriya, apparently, after leaving these letters, has left the Hero Academy. And there's a big 2-page spread of post-apocalyptic Midoriya looking on the city under attack. And he says
this shit looks so fucking dope.
A giant villain.
He looks mad dirty.
He's bummed out.
Right now.
It looks so cool.
Oh
my god.
We're all entitled to our own opinions, aren't we?
I said post-apocalyptic Deku. I didn't say it was cool or not. But
I think it's cool.
No, yeah, Brian said that.
All right, so that's how the chapter ends. Okay, so I guess we'll
unleash the hounds.
We'll unleash the hounds. Brian, what did you think about this chapter?
I thought this was an incredible fucking chapter. All right. I know you guys have always been ragging on My Hero Academia for its pacing and how fast it's been moving, but honestly,
hey, you can say my name, bro. It's fine.
No, it's both of you. Both of you have had this issue before.
Because he's the unbiased king.
Who, me?
No,
I'm the unbiased.
No, both of you. No, both of you have ragged on My Hero for this, but honestly, I'm okay with this 100% because the way that this series is going, like when like reading all these chapters and reading the past couple arcs, I'm like, this feels like a natural progression. I feel like this is a natural progression, you know? Like at this point in the series, the stakes should be getting higher and higher and higher, you know? By this point, there have been plenty of series that have been this far along in other stories, you know? But in My Hero Academia, this feels right, you know? Like this feels like something that should be happening by this point. Like the characters are maturing, the world is kind of maturing, and we're kind of getting past this is like the critical mass of the end of All Might's era, you know? Like when All Might's gone, this is something that's very, very like underappreciated, you know? Like his impact on the world was way stronger than we thought it was, and his empty presence has this effect on the world. If All Might was still around, this doesn't happen. This end of the chapter doesn't happen. It literally doesn't happen. The world would look perfect in All Might's world, but All Might isn't around, and that's the point of the story: is that there is no perfect hero anymore that can come in and save the day anymore. So if by this point, if All Might, like with All Might being gone and nothing is happening to this extent, then what was All Might's impact on Hero Society to begin with? You know, like it was stated that when this dude showed up, he's the greatest dude of all time. He fucking changed the fucking world, essentially, the entire world. He was the greatest hero of the entire world, not just Japan. Like his power compared to somebody who came from America and My Hero Vigilantes was like basically double that, triple that. He did more than anybody could do. And this guy being gone left a huge power vacuum. And the effects of that is shown now. And now it's up to Deku to fill those shoes to an extent because he's the successor. He is the final successor. So right now, we don't know the extent of like everything that happened with Deku inside of the One for All like universe, but I'm sure we'll get around to that because obviously this revelation Deku had came from talking to the two the second user and the third user, and those two were very hesitant about Deku in the first place. So there's still a lot we have to learn about the series. There's still so much that he could still expand upon within this final arc of the academia part of the series. But
I was waiting for you to address the actual title.
Yeah, I forgot to say it, but
I feel very hopeful about where the series is going, and I really do think that Horikoshi is really working magic with how he's writing this series, especially in regards to Deku.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in this moment where you see that Deku is a lot more serious and he looks a lot more stern, you still know that him leaving those notes shows that this isn't somebody who's possessed. Like, this isn't somebody who lost that spark of being a hero. He's still Deku, and he's still considerate to those around him. And this is just him taking the first step to being a hero, you know?
Mm. All right.
That's my piece.
All right. Josh, I feel like I'm in the middle, and I will let Josh speak now.
So you wanna? Yeah, I guess you could wrap it up with your thoughts. So I'll go. Honestly, I'm not gonna be as long-winded as Brian, not nearly. And I kind of alluded to this earlier, where I felt really strongly. I'm just gonna put it straight out there. I was very upset, and like I said, I felt like, this series is. I read the final act begins, and I seen there was I can't tell if it's a time skip per se, but maybe it's not. I don't really know. I was just upset. And then the more I thought about it, I figured, just like Brian mentioned, just because they're saying final. Oh, well, Chris said this too. I remember in the chat. Where just because this could very well be the final arc, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be sub arcs within this arc, and he's not going to take his jolly old time with this last arc. Who knows? I mean, do I think that's silly? Sure. But what does my opinion really matter? Am I a manga creator or editor? Have I sold or critiqued them or won any awards? No. So whatever. I'm not gonna pigeonhole this author because things aren't going the way I imagine or like my ideal way, because it's not going the One Piece or even Naruto route where you feel like there's this clear divider in time. My only gripe, just to keep it super focused, I guess where root of the disappointment comes from, is that I would have liked to see a lot more of the school life. I see Horikoshi really meant it when they said that, this is going to be like one of the last student life arcs. And I remember when he said it, like, I wasn't excited about that. I remember I was just like, that kind of sounds like we're not going to get any more of this fun inter-character stuff that was part of the reason I really enjoyed the series to begin with. I mean, I felt like they had such an emphasis on the rest of the class where I was like, fuck Naruto. He's like, I know how to treat my side characters, and there's so much more opportunity in this comic for that to happen. So again, I'm not gonna be mad about something that, you know what I mean? Like, there's still so much boundless potential for it. But man, I really felt like we could have got more mileage out of the whole school environment. I think things could have still been critical with there being a wreck. I don't think the whole Shigaraki War had to happen yet. I think bigger things, things similar to like Overhaul, more things like that, maybe with higher stakes or maybe different themes, like more political situations could have led up to like this big war where we had more time with the kids to develop as student heroes before shit gets all Mad Max on us, you know? Or post-apocalyptic Earth.
Yeah.
And then, like, come on, they got my boy Deku in rags right now. Ew. He looks
No,
dirty
that's not rags. Those aren't rags.
Dude,
Dude, no, those are Gran Torino's. That's Gran Torino's scarf on him.
He's not Spawn, my nigga. He's not Spawn, bro. And I'm not an 8-year-old kid no more, son. That shit ain't cool to me. I want to see some.
Clean.
No, but that's literally Gran Torino's scarf.
Dirty, man.
No,
that's Gran Torino's battle tattered scarf.
Tattered, and he's all emo and shit because he's all on his. Yeah, he has to be on his own now. Why? Why not ride with the big goons?
Because
Wait.
look. No, here to defend that part specifically, Deku can't ride with the big goons because the big goons are gonna get fucking rolled. Let's be real here. They're not equipped to deal with this shit. Think about it. Josh, don't be mad just to be mad. You know that All Might is the only dude who could handle All for One.
Wait a minute, guys.
The only dude. Name another person who could take down All for One. Exactly. So why would he roll with other people who are just gonna get fucking rolled?
Well, he's not the okay. I think.
Why would he wait to smoke? He doesn't care. All right, he wants to destroy All for One. I mean, One for All. But he's also ready to enslave and destroy the rest of the society that's weak too. Best believe his main ops, the Hero Society. Come on.
Deku's main goal right now is to get to the level he needs to be.
God, yes, he has his emo.
That's not emo. No,
yes,
that's not emo. That is not emo.
Guys,
you see the expression on Deku's face here as emo? I see it as him growing up and be trying to become the hero that he needs to be.
We can't be talking over each other. Let me say. We can't be talking over each other. Discord doesn't allow that. Okay, so here's my whole situation. I always find myself in the middle of these two, and in one point or another shifting between them. But I feel okay. So I did a lot of kind of research on this. I started reading My Hero from the beginning again because, and first of all, I want to respond to, I think Brian, you're misconstruing what our problems are in terms of pacing. I think we get it. Like, this was, a world without All Might fucking sucks. Josh, you're muted.
I'm just reassuring that I do feel that way as well.
Yeah, we know that. Our gripes not necessarily is the events that have gone down, but more, I guess, how quick it's gotten to this point. In the terms of a narrative structure where there's, not enough, focus on developing other characters and stuff like that. It's not something we're really used to. And to be fair, My Hero Academia is not that kind of series, and it really hasn't been. It's always been very focused. There have been a lot of characters on the tertiary that have gotten focused, like Todoroki and Ida, but it's not that kind of series. It's about Deku and, to a lesser extent, Bakugo, and that's about it. And that's my findings.
Hold on. I just have one question. When it comes to characters that you wanted to be fleshed out, who is it that you guys wanted to be more fleshed out? Because I feel like all the characters that needed to be fleshed out got fleshed out, Red Riot,
I'll keep that in mind.
Wait.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to know.
I want you to finish your thoughts, though.
And I mean, it's not just the main cast. Even for, I guess what's going... Like Josh mentioned, the premise of this whole thing was just kind of it felt to us like it was going to be we're going to find out, we're going to get a little bit of school life, we're going to get a little bit of actual training. There's not a lot of stuff that we see of the adults actually teaching these kids to a degree, there's not a lot of that. Our pacing issues are not necessarily the events themselves, or it's how fast it got to this point, or how fast it feels, because this is 300 chapters. And it should feel like this is a more fleshed out world than it is. And it's not necessarily that. But I will say this, and I've looked onto other people's response to this, because this is a big deal. This is, Horikoshi put this at the very end, the final act begins. I kind of wanted to see how people really felt about it. And a lot of people kind of had a little bit of our concerns. There were people who were like, I hope he doesn't rush this. I hope that, and people were reassuring each other, like, there's probably going to be like 5 or 6 mini arcs and all that stuff. And I know from experience, Bleach, their final arc was like 200 chapters long. So I'm not concerned about the final act. The Ninja War was how many chapters? It was forever. That was forever long. This final arc could be, I'm not really concerned about that. But despite all of our gripes we had with pacing with My Hero, I find myself optimistic because at the very least this story is pushing forward. And I guess my theory as to where this continues is that Midoriya is kind of taking the world on his shoulders and other heroes will back him up, like at some point, because he's just going to take this world on his shoulder. He has the guilt of Gran Torino, obviously, that he's literally wearing on him. And he's, trying to make good on that and take down this evil so nobody else has to die. I think the kids are all going to like leave the dorm and try to back him up because he'll be overwhelmed. This isn't Midoriya trying to be better because, he's just mob mental. He's just like jumping into combat so he can end this problem as soon as possible to avoid death. And that's my theory based on what Midoriya is. He has this power. It's his destiny to take down All for One. So he's going to act as soon as possible to do so. And, I think this arc is just going to be about waking Deku up and saying like, hey, things are different. It doesn't actually have to be all on you anymore. As to whether the heroes are going to get rolled, I don't think so, because All for One is not fighting alone. Heroes could help out fighting like the League and the Nomu. I feel like there's going to be individual battles on that sense. There's a lot of things that still have to also be unfolded. I think we're going to get an actual All Might flashback at some point. And they still has to deal with Aizawa and President Mike's thing with Kurogiri and all that stuff. There's a lot that needs to be closed. I'm not worried that it's going to end anytime soon.
The 2 successors that had their heads turned.
However, this is just like a brick to the face. Sudden, it's like, this is it. And I think
was it, man?
And I think Horikoshi did it on purpose. He wanted this to have impact. So I haven't lost faith. Is what I'm saying. But I do think that I agree with Josh's complaints for the most part. As far as the characters that I wanted to see develop, it's not that like I demand a fully fleshed out story for each and every one. It's that I wish we knew some people more. I'm very interested in Shoji, the multiple arms guy. I think like he's a fun character. I'd like to know why he wears the mask because there seems to be a reason.
Probably has another hand in his tongue or something.
Yeah, he probably has a hand mouth. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been interesting to see, and we've gotten little folds here and there, but it's nice to see more. I don't think it's a bad thing to be like, I like these characters even though I don't know that much about them. I wish I knew more, and that's all we want.
All right, so now I wanted to. My response to Brian is not about any like character in particular. Although there are ones that I like. I like the girl a lot. That can create like anything like out of her. I think that's such a dope ability, and it has a lot of Yaoyuru's. Yaoyuru's. Can't forget that. That was a class. Almost got My Hero Academia canceled.
Did it? That's
the
funny.
hot tub incident. Yeah. Nah, it's not about. But again, it's not about any characters in particular. I really like the class dynamic, and I just enjoyed seeing them around each other and the constant interaction, the constant building off of each other. Because it's not like they were just hanging out and, we're students and we have powers. They were learning things about each other. And that's why I felt like a lot of the real life comparisons came in. For kids growing up and having mature role models to look up to, or where they go through something and having actual reliable friends, you know what I'm saying? Just that positivity around them. It was nice. And I know things were going to change, but I would have liked to see that change affect their class more and more, see people maybe get affected in different ways by the ongoings of how life is changing. And part of the reason I'm not so down like I was a few days, like this past Sunday, was that there's just no reason all of that stuff can't still happen. I mean, Midoriya's probably in the same area. I mean, he's in Japan, bro. It's not that big. So I'm sure he's gonna run into his classmates, and they're gonna have arcs with his classmates. There's no way Hirokoshi's just gonna completely leave his side characters on the coattail. And from the perspective that you said, Chris, about, you know, and that of course that I guess Brian was operating with as well, is that this is a Midoriya story. This is about all for one versus one for all, and that's that. And we've had our main secondary characters, and whatever else happens is literally just sprinkles on, and I'm gonna be easy, yo.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see.
You know, it's not really, I hate to say it this way because it sounds so petty, but I'm not conceding to Brian in the sense that I feel valid in again, like with the issues I've had with the Pacers, had I've spoken about for weeks and given reasons for, I don't feel bad feeling let down by that and feeling like we didn't have to get to this point yet. I think that's valid, but I'm still optimistic for what's more to come.
Yeah. Oh, Josh, I think there's some feedback coming from you.
And not everything can be One Piece. that's my conclusion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's all I really got to say.
Are we done?
I'm optimistic about this chapter. I'm optimistic about this series.
That's lit, man. My Hero Academia is awesome.
Horikoshi has credit, is what I'm saying. He has credit to. I believe in him.
He does, and the high.
I don't know. Like my main problem. My main problem is that like you guys constantly doubt like Horikoshi and what he can do. You know,
I have not. I have been optimistic.
Like it's no, but it's like a constant thing.
Because of my expectations, he set this imaginary standard in my head for the series, and I thought it was gonna keep me in that way. This is on me, bro.
But this is the thing, is that like when it comes to like the classroom stuff and all that stuff, it's like again, everything I think in this series comes down to All Might and his influence on the world.
Sure.
Like just think about it like this. No hero in this entire series that we've seen like in like that have been mentoring our kids, like the class 1A kids and all that, they don't have to deal. They grew up in a time when All Might was the dude. Like or was going to be the dude. And they didn't have to be forced to grow up like them, you know? Like at least at this rate. Like, I know they had their struggles and shit like that, you know, but they didn't have to be thrown into becoming full-fledged heroes at such a young age. Like,
absolutely.
The end of this, like, My Hero Academia series, like this My Hero Academia part, and this is why I really do think it's not going to end at just the academia part, is that they don't have the luxury to be just students anymore. Like, that's pretty much where they're going.
Over already, Brian. I'm sorry to cut.
Yeah. You're right, and you're right.
You need to get that through your head right now, bro. There's not going to be a part 2 to My Hero Academia. If there is, it's not going to be this is right here. This is him saying the final act begins. Midoriya is not. He's not going to come back to school, and then they're going to finish out the school, and then let's not. Come on.
Hey,
this is what we're talking about, Brian.
No, Brian. I think you're missing the point of our points.
It's over, and it would be silly if they returned.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is the final. No, but that's what I'm saying is that this is the final act of the Academia series, of the Academia part of the series. Like, obviously, that's what I'm trying to say is that he left the hero school part. Yeah, and but this is like the point. The point I'm trying to make is that it's only inevitable that the students aren't learning from school itself. They're learning from experience. They're learning from being put into these situations to become real heroes at such a young age. That's my main thing. I hope that happens. And I like that.
I do hope that happens. I'm agreeing with you in the sense that I feel like that is definitely a route that could be explored. It should be explored. That is the natural progression of things. I did feel like at some point that was going to have to happen for these kids.
Yeah.
I agree with you with that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the last thing we'll say about it, because we've been doing it for a bit and we're going around in circles at this point. But last thing I say, like, it is not what they're going through, and it is not the content of the story or what's happening to the world is what our issue is. It's that it feels like it got here really quickly. Like, And part of that is that, it's not an ensemble series. So maybe that's why. Maybe it's not supposed, because it's such a focused series and we're used to all of this sprawling epic shit where every character gets their kind of due. And maybe it is us. I don't know.
What makes you think characters didn't get their due, though? We got the Red Riot moments, we got Bakugo moments, we got Todoroki moments. People are getting their stuff. What do you want? You want Tail Dude to get his moments?
Sure.
I can't speak for Chris. Listen, I can't speak for Chris.
See, Brian, I mean, I'm saying that, in general, it feels like it got here fast. And even if it was just this is just a Midoriya story, it feels like that too. I mean, I'm saying that we're missing out on these little portions. You say that they're supposed to be learning from experience. We didn't even see them learn from a classroom, really. Because everything they've tried, because everything they've tried has just been hijacked or has been a test. It's never been a development in the moment where they get to be in a classroom, meet a teacher other than Aizawa, get to know more people, explore this world. But I guess this is not that kind of series, and maybe that's on us for expecting that. But I think that that's kind of a detriment to the world that was built in a way.
I don't know. I feel like this was a thing that's been established from the beginning, that this wasn't going to be a profession that you could learn in a classroom.
Yes,
ever since.
That's why they have a classroom.
In the beginning of the series, you sit down. No, think about it, because it's in the beginning of the series, of course, in the very beginning, they give you the basics, right? They give you the basics, but the rest of the series, after the beginning area, it's been them going on hero exhibitions. They've been going out with hero agencies. Name how much time they've been inside of a classroom. It's less than that compared to how much they've spent on working in agencies as sidekicks or something.
That's what we're saying. That's our point.
And listen, Hirokoshi doesn't listen. I feel like I figured a way kind of to help you kind of really get on the same page, where it's now where you have to agree with our sentiments or feel the same way, where I think you'll understand. Hirokoshi does not owe it to us. And again, Christian, I feel like via you as well, you guys both, indirectly from you, more specific from Chris, where it is a series about Midoriya. So it's not again, and I can't speak for Chris, but I do believe it's kind of the same, where it's we're not really saying oh, this series is less than because things were supposed to happen and they didn't. For me, bro, I would have liked to see it.
Yeah.
But I can be let down in my own expectations, but I could still accept that it's a solid series.
Exactly.
And that there's still more to come up. I hope you understand that, Brian. And it's really this is.
Yeah, I think it's fair, but I can respectfully disagree. I don't have to change my mind on everything.
We're not trying to change your mind.
Also understand
We're just trying to help you understand.
Yeah, I understand it, but I just personally disagree with it. That's just what it is. I just view the series very differently from you guys. That's been something that's been consistent this
not
entire
very
coverage
differently, Brian.
of My Hero.
Both still fans of the series.
Yeah, I know, but I just view it differently from you guys. It's just that's just how it is for me.
I think it'll still be lit, though.
Me too.
Whatever.
And you need to understand,
there's still so much more good to come. I don't even want it to come. I don't want this conversation to come off, shit on our end as negative or nothing like that from this podcast. This story has a lot more to get.
Yeah, just be assured we do.
We all could agree, right? For sure.
Yeah, our
regardless of what happened already.
Our disappointment.
I hate My Hero Academia.
Our disappointment is rooted in our disappointment that it might be ending soon. We love this series so much is that we didn't get to see more of it. That's our problem. In a way,
manga, so I feel like that kind of sets it's weird. It's I'm used to certain patterns, and I'm just oh yeah, they could just stick along this road and go about it this way. It'll be so cool. And then bro, I act like this with other series too. That's all it is. It's just I want this to be my One Piece, but it's all right. We got World Trigger. Too bad it comes out once.
Yeah, I mean that's it. We love the series so much. We're sad.
It is what it is.
We're angry that it may or may not be ending in the foreseeable future. That we can see a light.
Not, but
at the end. The fact that we can a little bit see a light at the end of the tunnel is frustrating. Is what we're saying. Is that we want to see more, and that's a good problem to have if you're a series. Honestly, it's better to.
Yes, Good problem? Didn't Danny Glover say that? He was like, good problems? He said that in one of his songs.
Someone.
I liked it.
It's a saying. But anyway,
Good problems, question mark.
we'll be talking more about My Hero in the future. I mean, I don't know. We usually go off pretty hard on My Hero, just like time-wise. So let's move on. We gotta close this out. It's time
Oh, yeah.
to randomize it.
Bloody cross.
Black Clover. You know what time it is. It is audience RGC.
Certified RGC. Certified
Oh, wait. I'm going to stop it. Not officially, though. Currently,
Yeah.
the poll is still going till tomorrow at the time of this recording, so Thursday. It'll be going probably till tomorrow at 6, so if you listen to this podcast before then, the audio version, go to our Twitter at New Jump City and change your fate if you want. Or you can vote for Black Clover. I don't care. I don't mind it winning every week as long as people like it. But yeah, it is currently in the lead. But this is Black Clover chapter 286, A Night with No Morning. Last we left off, we found out that Noct was a bad boy, and he had a good boy brother.
He smoked cigarettes.
And he smoked cigarettes.
Badass.
Totally badass. And we get a little bit of an explanation as to like their dynamic where I just wanted to do bad things. I don't want to do good things because good things are just boring. I don't do things unless it's fun. But my brother was a good boy because his magic attribute was light. So he always did cool shit. He always did nice things for people. When I got my grimoire, I met Yami, and we got around to doing some trouble. We became little mischief makers. But at some point, by some weird coincidence, Yami and his brother both joined the Grey Deer Brigade. And it's kind of like nice to see them, like a young Yami joining his first squad. That's pretty cool.
Squad no longer exists, mind you, but
Do they? Who's the Grey Deers?
No, I don't think so.
Brian, can you look up who the Grey Deers are in Black Clover? I feel like that's
maybe it's
familiar.
the painting kid.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
it's
I'm
the
thinking.
painting kid. Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
It's Rill's current squad.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, he's like, oh man, I lost a friend. My friend's off doing good things for people. And when he turned 18, his parents summoned him and told him that he will be the one to inherit the House of Faust. And immediately, no Vaseline, just starts the demon ritual thing that he started with Asta back in the day. Brings him to this.
That was mad funny too.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, listen. Don't worry about it. I'm cool. I don't need all of that extra shit. Just give it to the bro. You know he's better than me. And they was like, no. We need your ass.
Yeah. So
That was fun.
they bring him to their creepy basement, and they're like, you will now take part in our demon ritual thing. And Noct was pretty excited about that. He was like, oh, hell yeah. But yeah, they start to do the whole ritual, and they're going to give him this they give him this little bracelet that will allow him to make a contract with the devil. They explain that the underworld is ruled by 3 devils of gravity, space, and time, and one of the devils who supports them is the supreme devil Lucifungus. So I guess he's supposed to make a contract with this devil. But it turns out his brother Morgan was undercover the entire time, a total fed, and is like, I've come to bust this satanic ritual.
Total fed.
I've come to bust your weird rich people satanic ritual. And, Noct isn't exactly like, yeah, save me. He's just like, ooh, I'm going to get my powers here and now. I'll surpass my limits. And I guess he summons the demon known as Lucifungus. It's this big scary monster. Has multiple horns. Very scary.
It's pretty wicked. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. It starts killing everyone. And Noct is like, whoa, this was a mistake.
They show his eye, or just having his face with his eye looking like, oh shit. As his family just dies before him.
Damn, I can't do nothing. I can't have anything nice. And
he was so scared he couldn't even look backwards.
Yeah. And then that's when Morgan comes in and tries to cancel the ritual, trying to destroy the little bracelet thing. And he manages to do that, but it ends up killing him in the process. And Morgan just dies a sad death and in the arms of Noct. And ever since then, Noct has kind of made a vow for himself to get strong and make sure that no good people ever suffer again, basically. Pretty sad. And I guess he takes up Morgan's image, dyes his hair black and is fighting these demons. And he's like, here and now, I'm going to kill you before you lay any hands on any good people. Here and now, I'll surpass my limits in the present. Noct, the credos of the Black Bulls, I'll surpass my limits here and now, is going to take down these devils. Hopefully. I think that would be, I'm hoping for a cool moment for Noct.
They're not the big boss devils anyway. They're just really high level.
They're like the bottom of the high level,
Yeah.
So
they get thrown out of bone, right?
Yeah, they get. He's a new character.
Right. Man, but I was really touched, man, because when his brother was talking about, man, like I had this vision where we could have been both like knights of light and darkness, and I thought about it, I was like, he probably felt the way that Yami was by his side because he was a dark mage. You know what I'm saying? And that I just feel like as a sibling, you know what I'm saying? That kind of fucked with him because he still had that dream for his bro.
Yeah.
And then he went out of his way to stop his family because he didn't want them all to he didn't want his brother to get arrested because he was, clicked up with his family. It was actually more touching than I thought it would be. So I was tight, man. This wasn't VG. I mean, this wasn't RGC type shit, but like
it was good.
Damn, man. If it wasn't for Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia being so goddamn controversial, this would have got it for me.
Yeah, for sure. But very
solid third place.
Yeah, I'm very into it. I don't have anything to say. This was a good chapter. Black Clover has been consistently good. I don't think there's been a chapter that pissed me off in a while.
Yeah, I like this art.
So no problems there. I think that's all for me. Do you guys have any last remaining words? Then let's.
Did you enjoy this chapter,
Brian?
Honestly, I don't follow Black Clover all that.
Damn, Brian, you can't say that on the show.
Like I follow it through you guys. Honestly,
Not that bad, man.
Yeah, you should read it. It's not bad.
The art's really good. I know you see it in front of you.
The art is good.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you read it when we read it? Like basically, you read it as.
Yeah, I read it as I read it with you guys. I did the same thing with Chainsaw Man. Like I learned basically most of that I knew from Chainsaw Man just from the way you guys talk. So I
got a lot of nerve, my guy.
No, but that's the thing is like I enjoyed Chainsaw Man reading it with you guys, honestly, because like I got to feed off of your enthusiasm for it,
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. You are pretty hype.
Yeah, but all right, that's all I got to say about Black Clover. It's time for us to close out this show.
Yes.
My video disappeared from the video, but whatever. It's the end. I don't care. I can't find myself anymore, but it's the end. It's who cares? Thank you guys so much for listening. You could find me at the Chris Espinal, at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram, at jdcole_37. Follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. You know the deal. Thank you guys so much for listening as per usual. It's time to close out. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace out.